Welcome to Bad Dice, the UK's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle podcast. We bring you news, reviews and updates from all around the UK tournament scene. Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Welcome to episode 48 of the Bad Dice podcast. I'm your host, Ben Curry.
And I'm Ben Johnson.
And in this episode, we've been on the road again, haven't we, Ben?
Yes.
And you've been off to where?
I've been to the Throne of Skulls at Nottingham.
Yep, and I've been down south. I've been to the warm out west in sunny Wiltshire at Triple Helix Games. More into them later, but the new gaming centre that's popped up. So we'll have a chat about them when we do the coverage of the event. Before we get into all that, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. So who we're starting with, Ben?
Rankings HQ.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. We've just been talking about them before the show.
Yeah, we've been playing about with the site a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, they've got a load of new features going up. So for anyone that don't know what Rankings HQ is, you can check them out at rankingshq.com. All sorts of rankings on there. You see tournaments from around the world. I follow them on Twitter, and there was an update the other day saying Norwegian Warhammer Fantasy Battle event added.
Mr. Gard Anderson won that, didn't he?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. It's
don't follow him that well, do you?
I saw the update go up. I didn't look at the event. Well, yeah, congratulations to Gard. So if you're interested in tournaments all around the world, you can check them out. That's rankingshq.com. And there's some other features going up. Sort of up now, I think, as you listen to this. So you'll be able to see when you go to an event, you'll be able to click on your profile and add your gaming results and do a bit of a blog about the event and sort of put in what happened in each game and things like that. So that's quite interesting. So check them out, rankingshq.com. So next up, we've got Odd Games. Who are Odd Games, Ben?
Odd Games are an online retailer, and they'll basically sell you anything Warhammer related.
Yeah, wargaming
related.
All
Sorry,
yes.
yes.
I was badgering Ollie today on the email, actually. I was
yeah.
looking for some magnetic stuff to do some magnet basing with. And I was talking to him about that on the email. So if you want an interest in magnetic basing, you can check them all out, the gear that they've got on there to do it all, rare earth magnets and that sort of stuff. Have you been magnetising your Skaven army?
The Skaven are magnetised out the yin yang.
Yeah.
All stuff from Ollie. Yeah, it's a chore, I'll be honest with you. 250 odd magnets stuck in bases.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been doing my Dark Elves recently. I've had them all out my cases, all my infantry that I've not done, and been sticking magnets in all the bases there. 2 magnets in each base. Pain.
It is a bit, yeah. I mean, I do mine with super glue, and I've noticed as well that a few of them are starting to fall out already. Really? Yeah, which is a bit annoying.
I use green stuff on mine. In fact, I'm going to do a tutorial to put on the Snake Eyes section shortly, and I'll put up the links to the Odd Games store where you can buy all the bits, and you can check out how I've been doing my Blackguard, because they're my next unit to do, so I'll be doing them. Okay, so that's Odd Games. Yeah, check them out at oddgames.co.uk. They've also got a forum. I think they also run a club night down there in the Wandsworth area of London, so you can check them out. So next up, who do we have, Ben?
Unseen Lurker magazine.
Yeah, and the latest issue's out, isn't it? What do you think?
That's okay.
You've had a good read of this one?
Yeah, I've had a read of this one.
Because normally I give it you as we sit down to record the show, don't I? But
yeah, that is normally how it works.
You've had a bit longer this time. Yeah. I thought it was really good, this issue. There's some really good stuff in there.
I did like the battle report.
Yeah, the battle.
Yeah,
I like the battle report as well. It's very interesting reading the Dark Elves take on the Empire, and it's always good when you know the guys who are involved, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, you can check out the latest issue at unseenlurker.com. I think you get about a quarter of the magazine, so it's like the first page of each article. You can have a look and check that out. You can download it as a PDF to decide if you like it before you buy it. So yeah, check them out at unseenlurker.com. So next up, we've got Battle Foam. Now, I've spent 2 to 3 evenings this week on the Battle Foam website trying to create my custom foam.
Is this why you didn't want to come out and play Warhammer?
No, I didn't want to come out and play Warhammer because I've been out Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I'm out on Wednesday now. So there you go. As much as everyone thinks I'm playing Warhammer every night, I'm not. So yeah, I was on the website trying to figure out how to fit 4 Hydras, 2 Pegasus Riders, 2 Bolt Throws, and a Cauldron of Blood into one tray, and you can.
Yes, with space to spare, I would imagine.
Yes, yeah. So that was because we're ordering a pair of bags, aren't we?
That's right.
Matching his and hers, pack 720s.
Mine's not the hers.
Well, well, I looked at the 720 and I looked at the smaller one they do as well, and it was like, do I really need the bigger one? And then I've started adding up how many men I can get in it, and it's just millions. But I can't bring myself to buy the smaller one. It'd be like, oh, I could have had the bigger one. So yeah, we're going for the bigger case. I'll just have loads of space in there for more toys. So that is our sponsors. So thanks to them guys, and we'll move swiftly on to the news. So Games Day was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, slightly old news as we get into it, but we've not recorded for quite a while, have we? We recorded on the Saturday before Games Day, and obviously now it's been and gone.
Yeah, I mean, everything was on the net pretty much straight away, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were playing Warhammer, weren't we? And we went up to Warhammer World to have a game, and we followed, a dozen people or so on Twitter that had said they were going, followed them, and got all the info from them as it came in. And as when we were sat in the car park as well.
Yeah, in the morning on the way in, wasn't it?
We got the Games Workshop email came through with the Dark Eldar incoming, and sat there drooling over them for a while.
Yeah, so obviously the big news from Games Day was Dark Eldar.
Yes.
I mean, it's not the big Warhammer news, but what do you think to the new figures?
Awesome.
So what have they got, and what's there and for the listeners?
Well, everything's new. There is nothing that's old. Simple as that, really. I don't know what else to say.
So what's in the range?
I don't know what they're called.
So there's like the warrior types,
there's the warrior guys, but they're not called warriors anymore. They're called K something or others. There's new metal incubi. Things called mandrakes, which are on fire.
Yeah, they look awesome.
They are very cool. Plastic jet bikes, plastic surfboardy dudes. Raveners, are they? Ravengers?
Something like that.
Don't know.
Round
bases, don't know.
I thought you'd done your research on your Dark Eldar because you've been talking about
them. No, I've just looked at the models, and they are lovely. I think there's 5 or 6 plastic kits.
Yeah, there's a few. The thing that caught my eye was the fact that I could use them all in a Dark Elf army if I wanted.
Yes.
And certainly if I don't use them all, there's the Witchers, things like that.
The Witchers, yeah.
And the other thing is they all look really mobile. They're all running, so they're like charging into a combat, whereas you don't really get that with Warhammer figures. You do a few of them.
I think that's because they're on a 25mm round base to be spread apart.
Yep.
So I think you've got a bit more freedom there, haven't you? Rather than being on a 20mm base and he's got to stand next to his mate.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's probably a bit more freedom there. But what is interesting is the black boxes are in the stores with the book, and I think the jet bike sprue, the warrior sprue, and the raider, the big floaty shippy thing.
Yep.
And the way they do them, there's just barely any mould lines on them because everything's moulded on like the undercut, if that makes sense. So where like something overcovers something, a piece of armour goes over another piece of armour, so the mould line's right on the edge.
Yep.
And it's really clever.
It is,
it's
amazing.
Yeah, it is just really, really clever.
It's amazing what they're doing at the moment.
And there's been no end of stuff on the blog as well of design notes from Jez Goodwin and stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of pictures. It's just crazy the amount of things that are getting up there. I mean, obviously we're not into the 40k side of things, but I'd definitely recommend anyone going and having a look. It's just stunning.
They're the mandrakes.
So the mandrake, they're all like half naked dudes with long hair, no mouths, and covered in green fire.
Yeah,
it's kind of awesome. So yeah, check them out. They're all over the Games Workshop website. They've got the advanced orders up already. So yeah, get over there and have a good look at them. Now the big,
apparently as well, they're quite bent.
They're quite bent, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
One of the dudes in Warhammer World was trying to tell me what they did, and it made no sense. But apparently, when they kill something, they get pleasure and pain rule or something, and they get another special rule.
They sort of get charged up as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, so moving on to the good stuff, the Warhammer stuff. Warhammer Forge is the big news, isn't it, really? It's the Forge World division of basically Warhammer.
Yeah.
So they've released like an Imperial Armour style book, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's going to. The weird thing is there's nothing actually on the Forge World website.
Okay.
So it's all sort of like stuff that
people have spoke to people at Games Day.
which is very odd.
So basically, the lowdown on it is there's the story behind the books, and there's going to be 4 from what I can tell to start with. 8 is he? Wow,
two for each power.
2 for each power.
Apparently.
Okay, so the original one, the original story I heard was there's basically a Chaos Lord who's got 4 sons and 1 dedicated to each power, and he scatters them to the 4 sides of the Warhammer world.
Yeah, so, sends 1 east, 1 west, 1 south, 1 north.
So the first one is has gone into the lands of the Chaos Dwarfs, and he's the Nurgle Prince, isn't he?
Yeah.
So there's new Nurgle models, there's new Chaos Dwarf models, which is the important one, and there's some new bits for the Empire. So talk to me about the Chaos Dwarfs.
They're just ace.
They've got a train, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a wagon train, which is like got the engine at the front. Then in the middle carriage is what can only be described as an earth shaker on steroids on rails.
Yeah, that's it.
They've got a new tenderizer type machine, which if anyone remembers from the original Chaos Dwarfs, the one that's pushed by the Bull Centaur that actually moved up and down.
Yep.
It's like a modernised version of that. They've got a couple of dudes, a couple of engineered dudes, a couple of character dudes, and they look great. In fact, it just all looks great.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the Empire bits that caught my eye were all add-ons to the original, to the units, weren't they?
Yeah, but then I've heard several different things of they're just like test pieces.
Oh,
and they're not
really?
actually getting released. It's supposed to be Marienburg things, so they've all got fancy coats on, and then you just stick the spear arms to them. So it's basically a resin body and head with space for arms. So you stick your handguns on or however you want to do them.
Yeah, it looked quite interesting. Cause they did
yeah.
a lot of different sets for you could make a complete army of it.
Yeah.
Which looked great.
It did look really cool. Yeah, it did. And the demi-griffin as well, which is basically a griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin with no wings.
Bigger than the
But
griffin.
bigger, yeah.
So the Nurgle stuff though was just awesome. There was a big like a dragon type.
The toad dragon.
There was a couple of Nurgle trolls, wasn't there?
Yeah, a couple of trolls, a couple of ogres. What are the frog things called?
I don't know, Ben.
They look like Nurgle spawns, but they were called
okay.
something. The name escapes me now.
Plague toads or something.
Might be plague toad.
Yeah,
that might have been it. Yeah, plague toad.
And these are all available. You could buy them at GameStop.
Yeah, you could buy.
Then you can't buy them now.
No, not as far as I can see.
That is weird.
And like I say, as of sort of last week, there was nothing on the Forgewell website of anything official. It was all just stuff that I scoured off Warseer.
Yeah.
Which seems odd.
It is very odd. So, moving on from Games Day, because like I say, we are 3 weeks behind at the moment. If you want to find anything else more about this, you can go on the Bad Dice forums. There's a thread up there with all the pictures are in it. Just go on the general discussion. And it's all over all the forums. Warseer are packed with it. Tabletop Gaming News, Bell of Lost Souls, everywhere. You know what I mean? You can find them wherever you want. So, other new releases. Now, Avatars of War have had a new Lizardman character out. Have you seen this?
Oh, no.
It's kind of a Saurus Scar Veteran Croxigore type beastie Lizardman thing. You're nodding at me to get it up. It was just up as well. Okay, so that's in the news. That's another new bit. I caught my eye. It looked quite impressive.
Another one that caught me today was Games Workshop, the Island of Blood Seaguard.
Yeah, you can get 5 Seaguard for a tenner. Now,
it
seems a lot of money, that does.
I don't know. We've talked to death about that. Let's move on.
Yeah, fair enough. So, I mean, what do you think to the fact that they're selling the Seaguard out of the Island of Blood? Is it good, bad, indifferent?
It can't be bad, can it? I mean, it's there if people want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not forcing people to. So
the Lizardman we've got in front of us now, he looks like he's got a Cold Run head on him, doesn't he? And he's as big as a Croxigore, but he's on a 25mm base, so his feet fit on the 25. You don't like it?
I'm not so sure on him.
Oh, fair enough. And you get a different kit with him for arms and great weapon for shield and all that sort of crap. No? Okay, he looks good in the flesh. I saw him.
Yeah?
It was on. Someone was selling him over at the Worlds when I went over a week.
Have you seen the Demon on there as well?
Is the Demon a new one?
I don't know how new it is.
So this is the avatarsofwar.com, and the Avatars of War, for those that don't know, do all sorts of like character models for.
Well, they do a game as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's like
a hero
battle arena type thing. Yeah. Any other new stuff you've seen?
No, nothing that springs to mind.
Okay. Well, we'll go for a short break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about our fortnights in fantasy, because we've both been doing loads, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take a break, and we'll see you in a minute. Unseen Lurker is a new, exciting gaming magazine covering gaming, tactics, hobby, modelling, reviews, interviews, and even the occasional zebra. Each issue has a quarter of the magazine available for download, so you can try before you buy. It's the first independent global magazine encompassing articles from generals and hobbyists all over the world. Every issue of Unseen Lurker, that's Lurker with an E, is packed with giveaways such as custom dice, t-shirts, as well as the Game of the Month as reviewed by our Unseen Lurker test dummies. For more information, check out unseenlurker.com. Okay, so we're back from the break with tea and beer.
Try not to spill it.
The combo of champions. And we're going to talk about our fortnights in fantasy. Now, I've been doing loads. Playing games, going to events, going to gaming shows, doing painting. How about you?
About the same, apart from the gaming event.
Did you not go to... This is the Derby Worlds I'm talking about. Okay, so we'll go into that first. The Worlds, it's... Is it that the name? Is it the World's what it's called? Because that's what we know it as its sort of shortened name. And it's in Derby.
It's the Old Glory World Championships.
Yeah, and it's in Derby every year. First weekend in October. First full weekend in October. Saturday and Sunday. It's a two-day event. All sorts of game systems in a big tournament in the back hall, which are counted, I think it was 90 tables.
Yeah.
So it's 180 players, which was quite good.
Yeah.
And then on the main trade floor, there's basically all sorts of different traders from all walks of life and different gaming sort of stuff. There's some interesting sites out there.
Yeah, some good stuff, some stuff that not so good.
Yeah, well, who did I see? I saw Ronnie from Mantic Games.
Yeah.
He was there plugging his wares. I saw the Products for Wargamers guys? The ones who make the terrain from down Milton Keynes way.
Oh, yeah.
Saw them guys. Who else did I see?
Foundry there. They're normally there.
The Foundry were there. Warlord were there.
Gripping Beast are normally there.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Loads of the old historic Napoleonics, all that sort of thing. The Derby War Games lot were there doing a display game of their... Is it Rapid Fire they play? One of the World War II ones?
It's something World War II, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure what it is. There's that many rule sets out there.
Yep. Who else was there? Heresy Miniatures. You know the like fantasy style miniatures.
Yeah. Andy.
He used to work at Games Workshop Derby.
Andy, somebody. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't catch his surname. He used to work at Games Workshop Derby, right?
He was manager of Warner for a long time as well.
I don't know. I walked up to the stand. I was looking at the stuff, and he says Ben, and I looked around, and I'm like, I know that fella. And he was like, it is Ben, isn't it? I was like, yeah. I was trying to rack my brain. How do I know this guy? How does I know this guy? And he recognised me from when he used to be the manager of Games Workshop Derby, and I must have been like 16. I've not seen him since then. Years and years and years ago.
Yeah, you've just got fatter.
And I was like, oh my God. He says the reason he recognised me because he remembers me being in there one day doing some painting or something, and his key worker got phoned in sick, so I had to run his intro games for him. And I was like, yeah, I can vaguely remember something like that, but it was a long time ago. And he was telling me about his company, and basically he does all the sculpting, does everything. He does all the sales. And
Do you know that we share accountants?
Do you really?
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Random.
Yep. How did you know this?
Because Adam told me.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. He says, still play that war game thing? It's like, yeah. Do you know a guy called Andy? I can't remember his second name. With Heresy Miniatures. Like, yeah. Yeah, I do his books for him now too. It's like, oh, right. Brilliant.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that was quite interesting. Some good stuff. And he had his dragon there, which has been sort of building for years.
Oh, just finished the damn thing. Let me buy it.
Yeah, it's looking good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
So it's Heresy Miniatures. I don't have the exact URL in front of me, but you just search for Heresy Miniatures on Google.
I think you'll be fine.
It'll be up there. And I'll stick a link up to the stuff that I've seen on the Bad Dice forums as well, so you can check them out. So what else was at the Worlds? I'm trying to remember now. They had a bring 'em by filled with junk like normal. It was just really crazy to see all the random games and all the different terrain and the different things like Terrain Warehouse were there. With they did the movement trays and things like that.
Yeah, the resin ones.
Yeah. Who else? It was really good. Just check out the Worlds at Derby, and it's like I say, October now before the next one. So we'll talk about it in the run up next time, so people can pop in if they want to.
No, we won't. We'll forget.
Yeah, more than likely. So, other than that, gaming-wise, what have you been up to?
Played you.
Yeah.
Smashed you, I seem to remember.
Yeah. Was it Final Transmutation, taking off my level 4?
Turn 1.
So I was using Dark Elf Infantry list, one tough for a change. I thought I'd give that one
infantry and 10 cold ones.
Yes, so it's 10 cold ones, 20 Witch Elves, 20 Blackguard, 20 Executioners, and then
Cauldron, level 4, bit of shooting.
Yeah.
Good
fun list. I didn't end up taking it to the tournament I was practicing it for, but I'll probably use it again in the future.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a fun game. Lip came out like when I rolled that 6, but you know.
Well, it was turn 1. I hadn't moved. What did you expect?
Yes, you had moved.
You went first.
No, you went first.
You're full of shit.
You went first.
You're full of shit, Johnson.
Definitely.
You'd
move forward because you cast Purple Sun. Tried to throw it at the tank and you miscast.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah, I do remember now. The damn Purple Sun miscast, and then you melted me, and it's like, oh, great, here we go.
Yeah, and what did we do when I melted you?
Put it back on.
Yeah. So don't even start.
You're wrong. You melted me first.
I know, yeah.
You melted me first. We put it back on, and then I miscast.
That's right. Yes, you are right.
It wasn't a fun game.
I thought it was great.
But then I got to play more Wildman, and that was fun.
That was.
So Wildman brought his beast down, which is quite fitting for his name. And what did he use? He had a doom ball, a gore ball. He had I can see my notes. He had a big unit of gore, a big unit of.
I think it was like 50 gore,
50
gore, 30 odd bestie gore, a couple of a small unit of on gore, the big Minotaur dude with the smashy stick,
load of chariots, and
load of chariots.
I faced off my executioners against his beastie gore, and I was like, I'll charge it. It's like I need a 10, failed, but I'd powered him up with the extra attack. So I think Mark's eyes lit up a bit, and he's like, I can charge there. So he charges in. We both got great weapons, so we're both striking last. I've got high initiative, so I go first. I kill, 15 of them or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, something like that.
And Mark was just like, oh, holy fuck. Shouldn't have charged there. He killed a load of executioners, but it doesn't really matter by then. I'd killed that many. He ran off, took his steadfast away, and off he trotted. And then I got a long charge with a Witch Elf unit through a forest into a chariot, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which then overran into the side of his.
And in fairness, it wasn't actually that long a charge.
He'd just not spotted it.
It just looked.
In 7th edition mode, it was miles.
Yeah. Like 3 turns of miles.
Yeah. Into the side of his big gore horde with the overrun. And then I brought the Blackguard in as well, didn't I? And what you've wrote down, was it 37 attacks from Blackguard, killed 22 gore, and 28 attacks on the Witch Elves, kills 6.
Slightly disappointed in the Witch Elves. They were very tired. They did destroy the chariot.
Yeah, they were the suck.
It was the buckets of dice that you couldn't hold.
Yeah, I had to chuck them in my t-shirt, didn't I, and sort of flip them all out in it, rather than roll them in. Mark's like, just roll them in 2 lots. I'm like, no, roll them all in one go.
Shocking.
Yeah, that ended as a big win to me in the end. And I was going for the death magic on them still, thinking big combat list. I can just go for the Soul Blight, the big Soul Blight, every unit within 24 once I get engaged in combat. So later on the same week, we went over to Warhammer World, didn't we? Yes.
Was this the Wednesday night for the Geek Nation tours?
Yeah, so Tuesday night, went out with the Geek Nation tour guys who'd come over to Nottingham. They'd done the Games Day trip. And then done a bit of a tour around the UK, and they'd come to Nottingham, and they'd gone to the trip to Jerusalem, I think the pub's called, in Notts. It's like the oldest pub in the UK or something. It's built into the castle wall. It's in a cave. It's a lovely place. You should, if you ever visited Nottingham, you should go in and have a look. I dropped in there for a beer and a chat with them guys, and then we met up with them the night after at Warhammer World for some gaming, didn't we?
That's right, yeah.
So there was me and you and Luke from the Dudley lot came over to play some Warhammer. I got a game in against Luke. Quite a tough Dark Elf list he brought to the field. I thought I'm going to be in a lot of trouble here. He brought 2 Hydras, 2 units of Blackguard, a level 4, load of Dark Riders. Was it 3 units of Dark Riders? A level 1 on metal as well. Damn Searing Doom killed all my knights.
Didn't kill all the knights.
It was a tough game, real tough game, and it came down to I had 2 bolt throwers, so I didn't really have to commit too much. So I was able to shoot out all his Dark Riders. but his death magic was just killing me.
Weren't you saying that he played like a monkey?
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Why not? You won't mind.
Well, the problem was he did, and I told him afterwards as well. The problem was I had more shooting than him.
Go on, say he was a monkey.
He was a monkey.
Yay!
I had more shooting than him, a lot more, and he sat off me, and I was like, well, I'm fine with that. You sit back there. I'll shoot you with the bolt throwers until you decide to come towards me. And he didn't, so I got bored and started throwing everything forward. And it came down to the fact that I had one Blackguard left fighting the Hydra with one wound. And I strike first. It was my Blackguard champion as well. I strike first. So if I kill the Hydra, I'm probably going to win the game. If I don't kill it and he kills the Blackguard, it's like 300-point unit. It's like the way that it went, it was probably going to be his favour, 100 points for a win. So it was that tight, and my Blackguard man finally did it, killed the last wound off the Hydra, and took the game. So, yeah, it was really good. It was good to see Luke coming over he played someone else as well, so he got a couple of games in that night. And went off happy.
Bless him.
We also played against a couple of Canadians, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple of guys that listen to the show. This
Chris
has been
and Paul, was it?
Yeah, this has been arranged for a long, long time, and as it happened, it went a bit bad for my guy Paul with his Beastman army, which was a really nice Beastman army.
He'd painted it all in like 2 weeks as well, hadn't he?
2 or 3 weeks, and it was lovely. No dip or anything like that. It was just really nicely done. Really good choice of colours as well. Really deep reds and browns, and it looked fantastic. But yeah, he'd got a lot of crap, a lot of little units of Ungors, a lot of little units of dogs that all got shot, and it all panicked. See,
what I like is the fact that you just picked on all this crap and made it all run away instead of just shooting his big units or something.
I didn't even do that. It was like, right, I'll shoot this small unit of crap. We'll force a few panic tests. Oh fuck, they've all failed.
Yeah, they all ran off.
They're all running. Oh, it's all ran through itself. So now it really is all running.
Well, me and Chris were just setting up, and I think we'd both gone to the bar for a drink, and you and Paul came in, and it was like, we're done.
Yeah.
It's all over.
See, I've wrote down it was only one turn, but I'm sure it was more than that.
Yeah, it must have been.
I don't think it was much more than that. So I went and bought him some dinner and a beer.
You bought him some dinner.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Well, I had a game against Chris with his goblins, and he'd actually won his tour. A trip over to the UK.
Yeah, he'd won a tournament.
He'd won a tournament and got a free trip to the UK Games Day out of it, which I thought was impressive. Really impressive.
Flights and everything?
Flights, accommodation, the whole tour.
Wow.
Yeah, he brought a massive goblin army. There's hundreds of them, wasn't there?
There was.
Like 3 units of 50 night goblins with nets, Skarsnik. So a load of my stuff didn't turn up. And it was crazy. I thought, well, I'll just chuck everything forward. It's all my stuff fights, so as long as I can get into combat with them quick, I should be all right. And the Hydra just did what Hydras do and just ran around terrorising the whole army. Every time I charged a unit, it ran off, so I got to charge another unit, and that ran off as well. I think he must have had 9 bolt throw shots at the Hydra and didn't do any wounds. The death magic was just horrendous. I just thought, well, I'll pick a spell and I'll chuck all my dice at it, try and get his characters. And I kept miscasting and getting it off. So every time I chucked dice, it was double 6. And then my wizard just like did a strength 6 hit on herself or something totally meaningless, and was killing his characters left, right, and centre. Skarsnik doesn't get a look at from shooting or anything like that. He's a unit classification. I can't remember which one he is, but there's nothing in the Goblin army that he can hide near.
No, because he's on quite a big base, isn't he?
Yeah. So that was very strange. But yeah, it was just goblins die.
Yeah.
Amazingly quick.
Did he not have you slightly worried, though, I seem to remember, when he whipped out his War Cleaver or something along those lines against the Hydra?
Oh, yeah.
And the Goblin General, who's worth about 110 points, and 100 of them is the magic weapon.
Yeah.
With 8 attacks at strength 8.
Yeah, he adds an extra attack and an extra strength for each one of his ranks. He was in a massive unit, so he had like
7 attacks at strength 7.
7 strength 7 on the Hydra. That put a big hole in it. I think he might have killed it, actually.
No, it ended up with 1 wound left.
Right, and I ate the warlock. Yes. Killed that little nasty goblin with a sharp stick. But yeah, that was a good fun game. Took us a while, but his armour was lovely. He's got a few bits in it he still needed to paint, and when it's done, it'll look amazing. But he had all these war machines and things in the units as unit fillers with goblins climbing all over him.
Well, I tell you what, all the guys that came over, Chris and Paul were the only guys really playing Warhammer. The rest of them playing 40k. But they all had nice armies that they all travelled with.
I did notice that. All in battle phone bags as well.
Yeah.
Romeo was there with his Nurgle stuff. And yeah, well packed, so to say.
There was a lot of battle foam on show, wasn't there?
Yeah. So it looked like a good trip, though. I quite fancy one of them.
Yeah, it did seem like fun.
Adepticon, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, they came over, didn't they? They did Games Day, then they'd done the whole Warlord, Mantic, because they're all from Nottingham Way.
Yeah, they went to Bovington Air Base to see
yeah.
the tanks. Bovington Tank Museum, sorry, to see the tanks.
Yeah. Day at Warhammer World.
We went around a couple of castles, because they don't have castles in
No,
America.
no, they don't
Or as
have
Romeo says, they have castles, but they're loads newer and look much more fake. They're all made of plastic and
Yeah.
they look perfect. So yeah, that was a busy week because we had the Alessio interview on the Saturday.
Yeah,
We had the gaming day at Warhammer World on Sunday.
that's right.
We was out in the pub with him on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night we was playing. And then on, I think it was Thursday, I played Bobo. So it was a busy week. And my game against Bobo, I decided to use a different list. I've gone for the Horde list, which is the one I ended up taking to War Out West. 2 units of 50 spearmen I thought I'd give a go. The theory on them was good, but I'll talk about the tournament in a bit and find out why they weren't that good in the end. But I played Bobo with his demon list, and it was just horrendous. Demons are still horrible. So
Yeah.
it's just, you can't get points out of the damn things. The big blocks and the bloodletters just hit so hard. You know what I mean? You have 30 bloodletters in a unit. You only need them like 7 or 8 wide, and 16 attacks back at strength 5, weapon skill 5.
Initiative 5?
4.
4.
It just smashes things.
Yeah.
And 5 up ward always gets you. You know what I mean? When you run in and think, oh yeah, I'll kill a load. No, I won't.
Yeah. Even if you just do the maths and take a third off, it's
Yeah.
a huge amount, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, Bobo violated me. It was a bit rough. But I've been running Shadow Magic on the level 4 for a change. Seeing how I get on with that, and it's good. I like it, but I think your list needs to be designed towards it a bit more, whereas mine wasn't. But I'll talk more about that in our tournament report later. So, have you played any more games other than the one?
No, that was it.
Just the 2-1 against me on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just a bit slacking, 3 weeks worth.
Well, I've been doing a lot of painting.
Oh yeah. So what have you been doing painting wise?
More scathing.
Yep.
Yeah, starting to get me down. It's a lot of scathing.
It is. It's looking good though. I've seen some of it.
Yeah, I'm chuffed with it. Painting an engineer, sat down for sort of 4 or 5 hours and knocked him out, and I'm quite chuffed with him.
Sat down for a bit and knocked one off.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Is there
Basically.
photos on the website?
Photos on the Snake Eyes section, yes.
Excellent. I've seen it. It looks really good.
Yeah,
You've used Necron Destroyer arm on it or something? Haven't
Yeah,
you?
the Heavy Destroyer. I sort of found it in my bits box. I thought, oh, that's remotely scaveney.
Doom Rockety.
That'll be all right. Chucked it in the box with all the rest of the Skaven stuff, and I'm trying to build some warlocks, and basically got the Island of Blood engineer, chopped his gun armor. Has he got a gun?
I don't know.
Yeah, a gun and a helmet, hasn't he? Chopped his gun off, put the pointing finger off the storm vermin on there, changed his head. Don't know. Can't remember if I changed his head. Might have kept the same head. Don't know. Put the backpack off a Globadier on there. I thought, what can I do in the other arm? He's got like a Storm Demon type thing. And then I thought, Necron Destroyer. And it fit straight on.
That's handy.
I thought, that'll do.
So have you used the green plastic
Yeah,
tubes?
put the green rods in there afterwards, yeah. And it's
Does
all...
it look good, or would you have been better off painting it?
I think it looks great. Because also as well, if you get it in the right angle, the light shines through. It's like a lighting effect without having to do the work. It's brilliant.
Nice. So what more when you Skaven have you been doing?
I just finished some Gutter Runners, which are actually assassins. So it's 5 assassins and Snitch, and a nice little scenic skirmishing movement tray.
I think you need more Gutter Runners, mate. The new hotness.
Yeah, they are
so
quite cool,
good.
aren't they?
So good.
Yeah, but someone's supposed to be sorting me out some more assassins, but you know.
You say some, I think I've got one.
You told me you had 3.
I didn't know. You're exaggerating for effect. I says I might have a assassin.
He actually says, I think I've got 2.
But we'll have a look.
No.
I've definitely got the old Snitch.
No.
No? Okay.
Have you seen the new Snitch?
Yeah, but if you've got an old Snitch and a new Snitch, and
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay.
More snitches.
So I've been doing some painting. I painted. Get this. I'd got a unit of crossbowmen which I started painting, and I chopped all their arms off and put spears on them. Fancy that, eh? Coming from me.
Look at you go.
Yeah. So I've been painting Dark Elf Spearmen. I've been painting my Blackguard. I think we talked about this on the last one, didn't we? I'd got 40 Blackguard.
The Blackguard, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 20 which I've been painting for ages, and 20 which I sprayed silver and dipped. And once it's sort of mingled in, you can't tell which is which. Especially once the dipped ones have had one highlight on.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't even dip them. I inked them, purple and black ink. So yeah, it's just crazy how good it comes out. What else have I been doing? Not a lot really. Like I say, magnetic basing, all my men, and making movement trays. There's like 50-man movement trays. Okay, so I think that's about it for my Fortnite fantasy, other than the tournaments. So how about you?
Yeah, it's about me done.
Okay, we'll have another break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Throne Schools and the War Out West.
Hey dudes, just want to take a minute to tell you about the next big thing in wargaming. Rankings HQ is the new home for not only rankings across all game systems, but the latest social networking site for gamers around the world, including articles, image galleries, and heaps more. Create an account, track your personal progress, and compare results amongst friends and other gamers worldwide. Think you're the best gamer in town? Prove it at rankingshq.com. Join today.
Okay, so we're back from another break, and we're going to talk about the tournaments we've been to this weekend.
Okay.
Now, before we get into that, I've got to mention one other game which I forgot about, and he was quite angry. 'Cause he did give me a kick in and says, make sure he gets a glowing report. So I also played John Dale down at Warhammer World one night this week, and I rolled out a filthy, filthy Dark Elf list, which was just all shooting and all nastiness.
When he sent me the email saying, I've wrote this list, what do you think? The title of the email was, Combat is Overrated.
Yes. So, as I'll get into it, this tournament I went to, I felt hard done by the combat dice in quite a few games. So I've come away from it thinking, why bother? Why don't I just go back to shooting people, which I enjoyed so much in 7th edition. So I wrote a list to sort of go down that path and see how we get on with it. And it's quite a tasty list. It was 3 units of 10 shades, 6 units of 10 crossbowmen as my core, 2 hydras, a dreadlord, 2 level 2s, and that was about it. Some harpies, get some harpies in there for good measure. Anyway, I played John Dale and he kicked my ass. I made a mistake. Well, I say I made a mistake. I had 2 wizards in a bunker, immune to psych, and 10 crossbowmen. And I miscast and killed 7 of the crossbowmen, and then says, they should have been in a line. And then John shot 2 units of bowmen at him, 20 and a 10, and killed them all. So that was a bit rough. And then the tree man wouldn't die. The tree king just marched through my army. Didn't really get into combat, but I just had to keep fleeing from him.
Sounds like you're talking about a game from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The Wood Elves, they shot me, they killed them all, the tree man wouldn't die.
Yeah. In fact, while I was playing, I was saying that. I says, the damn tree man is just not going to die, is it? It died in the end, I got it. But it was just like, for fuck's sake. Because it's not a large target anymore. Well, it is a large target, but
okay.
You don't get your +1 for shooting at a large target. So you're just shoot, and your crossbows do nothing. You're looking for 6s what aren't there, and it's just bad times. Or then you get a couple and John just chucks his armor saves and it's, cheers, John. So yeah, it shot me to pieces, and it got to like turn 5 and I could have pulled out and I probably took a draw. I thought, right, fuck it, we'll chuck the shades forward, and he gunned all them down mercilessly as well, and I got no more points. So he was up by about 700 with quite a tame Wood Elf list against my horrendous filth.
Oh dear.
So speaking of horrendous filth, what did you take to the Throne of Schools?
I took Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah?
Yeah. No filth there. There's one little bit of filth.
So tell us what was in the list then.
Okay, I had a Orc level 4 with a power scroll.
What was that, Ben? Was that a power scroll?
Power scroll. Might have been, yeah. I had a Black Orc BSB with the Spirit Totem, Goblin level 1 with a sneaky stealing staff, an Orc level 1 with a scroll. Basically, he rolls first, takes the default, and then your Great Shaman's got, I think, about 1 in 1,200 chance or something of getting War. something ridiculous like that. 41 boys, 30 night goblins, 5 spiders, 5 wolves, 18 black hawks full command, 9 squigs, 2 spear chuckers, a rot lobber, a doom diver, and 2 pump wagons. And the pump wagons were actually quite good.
I was just about to say that. Were they any good?
They weren't bad. They were a nice little crappy deployment. And also with the Vanguard move as well, you can plonk everything down quite close together, knowing that you're just going to spread.
Well, what's Vanguard?
The fast cav.
Oh, all the fast cav, yeah.
Yeah, so the fast cav can just go right on the edge, as you normally would, and then bomb them forward 12.
Or back, if there's something nasty to shoot them.
And then it gives... Well, no, forward. Let them shoot them. Not shooting anyone else then.
Yeah, I suppose.
And it gives the pump wagons plenty of room to run around him. So, they were quite cool. I didn't really know what to expect with it.
Well, you was thinking of taking Empire, wasn't you? And
Yeah.
You've been trying out the Balthasar Gelt list.
I've been trying out the Gelt. I couldn't settle on a list that I liked, especially with the stuff that I had.
And then I was there going, take your orcs.
Yeah.
Then take your orcs. And you were like, no, shut up. I'm not taking the orcs. And then it was like, ooh, orcs could be quite good.
Orcs could be good, yeah. And in the end, yeah, they were. They were nice to get out again. I've not used them in 8th. And I've not used them since May. Took them to Tempest in May.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think before that, it'd have been about a year ago at the mall.
So they come out every now and again?
Every now and again, yeah, they come out and they get pushed around and they get voted for best painted and then they go back in the cabinet for a while.
Nice.
So that was the list. It was pretty subtle, as you can probably tell. The big units go down the middle. You pass Cassoir and
So you say
things.
big units, but only 18 Black Hawks. I don't know.
Yeah, but 18 of them with the War banner was
1,000,000 points.
okay. 315, not a million, but still a lot.
Still a lot, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
315 gets me 50 warriors with full command.
Yeah,
So a lot, yeah.
yeah. But then when they charge in, when they're ward, they make a mess.
Yeah, strike first, reroll misses.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they do. So, first off, before we get into your games, what else was there? So when you turned up, you had to walk around. You on the Twitter, both of us were twittering the same morning.
we were,
wasn't
weren't we? Techless.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. The High Elves have been cloning like fuck. I think the last count was 16.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah, which is a real hell of a lot. There was a few Bloodthirsters, which really surprised me. There was a lot of Lizardmen, a lot of Slans. There was a couple of Carnosaurs.
Really? Okay.
And one of the guys played an Old Blood. And I was like, what does he do?
Did you get to play against it?
No, I didn't. A lot of Dark Elves. The Dark Elves didn't do very well, though.
No?
No, I'm not sure why. There was a girl playing with Dark Elves.
Wicked.
Doing really well. I think she was on table 3 in the last game. And by all accounts, she was winning. After 4 rounds, she was above the average on everyone else.
What, winning the best Dark Elf one or winning the tournament?
No, winning the tournament.
Oh, wow. Did you catch her name?
No.
Does no one we know them?
No.
Okay, fair enough. So... Nice.
Yeah.
So, what was you expecting then, taking the Orcs?
To get smashed a bit and then go drink some cider.
Okay. And how did it go? Who did you play first game then?
First game was a nice young fella called Mike with Dark Elves.
Yeah.
Wearing a bloody Man U shirt.
Really?
Yeah, really. But bless him, he smoked and he drank. Drank. So it's not often you get a smoker as an opponent, and I love it because it means you go out for a fag with no problems.
Yeah, because otherwise you get moaned at.
Yeah, they get moaned at.
Yeah. So what was in his list? Do you remember that?
In his list was 2 level 2s, both on Shadow, unit of Spearmen, unit crossbow, 2 units crossbowmen, sorry. Big unit Blackguard, Hydra, 3 bolt throwers. That was about it.
Hydra and 3 bolt throwers is nice at 500 for your rares.
Yeah.
I've been looking at that.
His bolt throwers were vicious as well. First turn, just...
Did he get the withering off on anything then?
No, he died kind of quickly.
Okay.
All of it did.
All right.
Yeah. It was long way scenario, and he set everything up 24 inches.
So set everything up in the middle and you just ran at him?
Yeah. Yeah, he had one turn of shooting, which was horrific. Shot one bolt throw at the pump wagon, killed it. One bolt throw at 5 Wolf Riders, killed them. I'm like, oh god,
This is shooting your shit.
yeah. But then I thought, if he's doing this, what's he going to do to everything else?
Yeah.
But then everything just wired and got in, and it was a mess.
Okay.
It was a big
So you
mess.
literally moved up war. Did you not use a power scroll to get
Oh
in?
yeah, power scroll.
Yeah.
Power scroll. Wow. It's like Warhammer for idiots.
Yeah.
I want to do this. Oh look, there we go.
I've not been using it. I really
Oh
should, shouldn't I?
mate,
I should use it before it gets
you
banned.
should. Yeah, I mean, I took it to this, and I will not take it anymore. I'm
No.
just not. It's just stupid. It really is. I'm sorry, but it is. And it is. It's just no. It's no brainer. The amount of it that was knocking about at the weekend is just insane.
Okay.
Don't think there's any need for it.
So you got a big win in round 1 then against the Dark Elves.
Yeah, 1,600 points. Bless him. He ran away with his spearmen, charged the Black Hawks, and he ran away with them. I'm like, all right, then. I'm redirecting something else and get them later. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Redirecting something else, smashed them, ran into the spearmen and ran through them, forced them to flee again, and then just chased after them in the next turn.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a scary moment with the Night Goblins where they double nined stubborn test versus the Hydra, which meant that the Blackguard could free. Basically, you've got the Blackguard blocked up with the Hydra that had charged the Night Goblins. And when they went, it meant that the Blackguard were free to charge the big unit of boys. I was like, oh god, that could be rough.
Well, what was your formation?
5
and
wide,
then loads behind.
Yeah, loads behind.
So you're always going to get 10 attacks back, aren't you?
Yeah, but then he got his Lord and he's got his BSB in there, and I'm thinking they could be quite choppy.
Oh, you stubborn man. What's your worries?
Yeah, but there's a lot of attacks.
Yep.
But then his Lord had 7 attacks. He had the +3 attack sword. But he was only strength 4.
Yeah, so it's all got half.
So yeah, it just wasn't doing anything. And then I cast War again and killed lots of stuff.
Yep. Casting War was the thing of the weekend, was it? So who did you play in game 2?
Game 2 was another Dark Elf army, a guy called Craig. In fact, you've met him before. He's the guy who did the Cauldron of Blood out the Forge World Avatar.
Oh yes, okay.
Big fella.
Yep.
Yeah. And this was Fortitude, so banners, Blood and Glory.
Yeah.
He had a level 4, a Cauldron, a BSB. Cauldron was a BSB. A Hydra, 12 Witch Elves, 15 Warriors, 20 Spearmen, a dude on a Pegasus with a Ring of Hotech, a couple of Bolt Throwers, unit Dark Riders. That was about it. This took 38 minutes. That was basically from me going, hi, I'm Ben, to here you go, Adam, here are the results. It was 38 minutes.
That's just rough.
Yeah.
Because it's the Fortitude.
This was the Fortitude, yeah. It was setting up, it was going for a piss, it was going out for a fag, and it was handing the results in. 38 minutes.
Man, what happened?
Power scroll.
So he put all his eggs in one basket and you power scrolled into it?
No, he didn't. He had his eggs nicely spread.
And you
And I
power
scrolled into all of it. Obviously, you only start 18 inches apart.
Yep.
In that one. So he shuffled forward like an inch just because he was on shadow.
Yeah,
he
so
wanted to
all
get
the
his spells
short
in
range
range.
and stuff's
Yeah.
18, isn't it?
So he shuffles forward a little bit with the spearmen, with the level 4 in, and the witch elves, which were opposite the boys and the Black Hawks. So like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop all your magic, which is what I did. I let off, what's the initiative one? Drops your initiative.
Miasma.
I let that off because I knew all he was going to do was try and get Power of Darkness, more dice, and get some Purple Sun going. You're not having any more beer. So lets that off. He double sixes Power of Darkness, blows up 8 or 9 spearmen. Doesn't get enough dice back to cast. What's his name? Purple Sun. So my turn 1 is right. We're going to call a war, move forward a bit. Right, I'm going to charge with the Black Hawks to go 3d6 right there in. I'm going to try and charge with the... I march forward with the boys, power scrolled up war, So
So the Black Hawks are re-rolling misses and striking first.
yeah,
Everything else is charging, re-rolling misses and striking first.
yeah. You can see where this is going.
Take all your toys off first turn.
Yeah, his second. Well, so yeah. Anyway, I left him with, I think, the Witch Elf banner alive.
Does the Witch Elf banner
fighting
not... it's held at it.
it was stubborn on the cauldron.
Yeah.
Fighting the Black Orcs opposite the cauldron. I ran past the Hydra, which was quite funny. And then he got 2 assassins, and one of them jumped out the spearman and did nothing. Oh no, killed the BSB, that was it. Killed the BSB. And then I killed all but 1 spearman, and the general, the spearman and the assassin ran away. So his turn 2 was double one-ing, or attempting to double one, his general, spearman and assassin on the board edge.
Oh, and if he didn't get it, he ran and broke.
And that was it, game.
Oh dear.
Silly.
Well,
No.
it's fell up line and sinker for the while, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but there's not a lot else you can do.
Of course he is. We'll play. Mate, look at it in the last edition. Everyone fell for it all the time.
Yeah.
And
But even so,
everyone who'd seen it before or had even thought about it before knew how to stop you warring where you wanted and doing what you wanted. And yeah, you put a Harper unit or something, fast cavalry, or just even a small unit run forward. You have to charge that because it's the nearest, or you have to war towards that.
it's not so easy anymore, though, especially when you've got big units, because if you can't come within an inch,
No.
you end up going straight forward.
Yeah.
But hey ho. I mean, I was talking to him after. Obviously, we had quite a lot of time to have a chat. I was just saying like why he didn't have more banners, and he was like, I struggled for
A lot of
points.
points. I've been writing Dark Elf lists at 2,000 points and
But
really
he
struggling.
had 1 unit of 20 spearmen. I said, well, why not 19 and a banner?
He didn't have a banner in
No.
there. Oh, man.
Because all he
Yeah.
had was the general, the BSB, and the banner in the spearman and the banner in the witch elves for 5.
Yeah, he could have had another one.
Yeah, you don't need to lose a lot, and it's gone. I mean, we even wanted the Dark Riders,
Yeah.
especially now they only give 25 points if they get captured.
Yeah, of course.
So, but hey ho.
Okay, so game 3.
Oh yeah, and in between game 1 and game 2, we had some dinner.
Was that awful?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
What's going on with this? Because every time we go, we seem to leave feedback saying the food's rubbish, and then it seemed to improve for a while, and then it's
I
gone
don't
back
know.
bad again.
It just wasn't great. It was pie, which you
See,
get.
I'd have liked it. I like pie.
Yeah. It was. Don't get me wrong. It was all right, but it wasn't brilliant. And there was no pudding, and there was no donuts, and there was no tea and coffee.
No tea and coffee and donuts in the
No,
morning.
No, which is a shame.
And the ticket price has gone up. Or the ticket price stayed the same. You get less for it, and they're not even giving you the breakfast.
Afraid so.
Okay, fair enough. So, game 3.
Was Andrew with Orcs and Goblins and playing Watchtower.
So you should know your tricks.
No, not really. Bless him.
And you got the power scroll and level 4.
No,
Okay.
he'd got shooting. Arrow boys. Yeah.
You hate these, don't you?
He'd got like 40 of them.
Oh, man.
He'd got 40 of them. He'd got 50 night goblins with bows.
Was it Savage or Cowboys?
No, normal ones. And he'd got a unit of 6 trolls, a small unit of, I say small unit, it was 30 night goblins, a couple of bolt throwers, a unit of spider riders. And he had control of the building, had nothing to put in it, because he's got no units of 20. So he would deploy, I get to go first, so put everything in the Black Orcs, marched them forward to behind the building. He had his go. Black Orcs went in the building, fought off trolls for the whole game.
That was it.
And that was it. And from deployment, I was like, you can't lose this.
Yeah.
The trolls can't beat the Black Orcs.
No.
You can't get any of the characters, which doesn't really matter. It just means that he gets a bit more magic at me because I just put 10 Black Orcs up every time to fight. And then the other stuff just keeps everything else off.
Yeah.
And it was a bit, that was it really. Not a lot more else to say. I just kept feeding his bowman stuff to shoot at, which he quite enjoyed. Do you know what I mean?
He was happy shooting.
Yeah.
Target practice.
Yeah, in the meantime, my Black Orcs were sat in the building going,
Winning.
yeah,
Yeah.
and come on.
Okay, so what was on Saturday night then? Was the Any
Saturday night,
festivities
then Rock
arranged?
Band.
Rock Band on the big telly.
The Rock Band on the big telly.
Oh,
Proper
that-
rock band. 2 guitars,
so if
drums.
anyone who don't know Warhammer World, they've got a 10x10 projector screen.
Oh, no, it wasn't on that. It was on the,
Oh, right,
it was on the
okay.
back by the little Bugman's kiosk thing.
Okay, yeah.
They had a quiz as normal. They had Hero Hammer. They had Rock Band. Jervis Johnson came down to do a seminar.
Which you didn't stick around for,
No.
you
Went-
dog.
Went
I
over.
did say, make sure you see the seminar.
It was late.
Yeah, and you couldn't be arsed. You'd been drinking all day.
Been drinking all day. No, we went back to Pete's house and played Game of Thrones.
Was it any good?
It was until Pete got bored.
And just wandered off. He does that a lot.
No, we sat there and we're playing, and it's midnight-ish, and we are all a bit tired and a bit flagging, and I'd never played before. And Pete's like, I'm knackered. I want to go to bed. And he goes, I've won. No,
Really?
really.
So,
Just like that. It just...
move some pieces.
Yeah,
and won the
yeah.
game.
He was playing Red, which, if anyone knows the game, apparently are just broken. They're the demons of Game of Thrones. They start on all the castles.
Okay, what were the red ones called? The Starks or the Lannisters or what?
I don't know, one of them.
Okay, fair
I was the white ones, if that helps, at the top.
I don't know.
To be honest, it was quite a good
I've
game.
really fancied playing that for a
Yeah,
while.
I
but
quite
never got
enjoyed it,
round to
actually. It was fun. It was fun. It reminded me very much of Axis and Allies.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With the sort of, not so much buying stuff, but you get your little influence counters that you can bid on. You get control of the throne, the sword, and the little raveny dude. Yeah, quite good. Quite
Good stuff. So, Sunday morning, no donuts, no tea and coffee.
No
And,
donuts, no
another
tea and
victim.
coffee. Yeah, Carl with Skaven in
Ooh,
Blood
Skaven.
and Glory, Double Abomination. He had a very weird list, which he'd obviously got a plan for, and it had worked for him because he won 4 from 5 over the weekend. He got a Grey Seer Power Scroll. A lot of Grey Seers with Power
I
Scrolls.
was just about to say how many of them were there.
Yeah. I only met one person with a Grey Seer without a Power Scroll, and that was because it was riding a bell, and I don't think he could afford it.
Oh, right, because of the points, yeah.
Yeah. He got another Warlord, he got a BSB, he's got a Doom Rocket guy, he's got a Condenser guy, he's got a Chieftain. 2 units Clan Rats, 3 units Slaves, 2 Abominations, 14 Giselles that go in his Folding Fortress.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But you can only shoot... Oh, no, because it's a tower. You can use as many levels as he likes.
Yeah, level 4. Yeah.
4-level tower?
4-level tower.
What, like a Games Workshop one?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That it deploys on his board edge, front and centre of the board edge, 36 inches, everything. Pretty much everything. So I'm like, bloody hell, this is going to be hard. I thought, well, I'll just, Power Scroll, that'll
Charge the
sort
building,
it.
he can't fly out of it.
Well, no, because his army was set up in front of the building.
Nice.
So I thought this is going to be difficult. I thought it was either going to be really quick or hard.
Yep.
And as it turned out, it was quite hard. And I had to cheat to win.
Oh,
Which was
right,
great.
really?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. His Abominations, when one went front and centre, one went down my left. I thought, well, if I can just get them bogged down in combat, if I can get in combat and then get them in the flank or something like that, I'm not that bothered because it was only the big unit he'd be able to get. And I thought that's big enough to be able to stay stubborn for a while. And the Black Hawks can go chopping Clan Rats.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I did. Wired off, Power Scrolled it. Black Hawks got in combat. The big unit didn't. Squig Hoppers went in the side of Slave unit with a seer in. Ate that just like it wasn't there. That's insane. Squig Hoppers rerolling misses.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then he had a unit of Clan Rats in combat with the Black Hawks and a unit of Clan Rats next to them. So he went, right, charge. Okay. He says, well, I think I'm in your flank. I'm like, not sure. I think that's front. Take measure out, dissects the Black Hawks, counts the models. 11 guys in the front. 11 guys in the flank. Then the guys that are dissected by the tape measure. 14 guys in the rear. Front. Oh, okay. Push it in the front. Obviously, that's not how the rules work now.
Okay, you've just said some are in the flank, some are in the rear, but that makes him charge the front.
No. Sorry. No. Sorry.
Imbecile. So half the unit was in the front, half was in the flank.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
And then when you checked it, there was more models using the 7th edition method in your front, so he's charged the front.
Yes.
But now it doesn't work like that.
No,
at
now
all.
it doesn't work like that at all.
It goes
which-
on the models
in the front rank.
front rank of the unit that is declaring the charge.
Yes.
Which, by the sounds of what you said, if you're striking through the corners, it would have been all of.
Oh
the
God,
rank
yeah,
on the
without
flank.
doubt. Yeah.
Um,
No question about it.
Yeah.
It was like 4.5 front guys in the flank easily. But we both made a mistake. And after the game, I apologised.
So would it have made a difference?
We talked about this, and I'm not sure it would, because when he charged in the front, he still got his +1 for charging, and he made way with his chieftain, with the halberd, which killed 2 Black Orcs. So he'd have gained 8 attacks from Clanrats.
Yeah.
But I'd also would have gained 2 attacks, no, 2 models of the Black Orcs fighting, so 4 attacks.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
So 8 attacks from Clan Rats, so it's hitting on 4s, winning on 5s. You got a save of
5/6.
5/6. So chances are he might kill one, probably not. Your 4 attacks from Black Orcs at strength. Was it first round?
No, it'd been second round.
So you what?
Hitting on 3s, winning
to
on
hit,
3s.
Winning on 3s.
2 6s to save.
Yeah, so again, you might kill one, might not. You're
Yeah.
probably better odds of killing one than he is, I think.
Yeah. And I think he'd have got flank as well.
Yeah.
He already had more ranks than I did. He already had just his +3 from the unit that was already fighting.
Yeah.
I would have lost a rank. So I don't know. I did have my general and my BSB there, so even if I'd have lost by 1 or 2,
You've got,
I've got a
leadership 9 and a reroll.
no leadership 8 and a
and a
reroll.
reroll.
So, but it was a mistake. You know what I mean? We both didn't know. We both counted the guys.
Yeah.
And put them in the front. So bought
And
them a
then
beer.
what happened?
I just kept dropping rocks on the tower because that was where his general and the BSB were.
General and BSB in the Giselle unit.
In the Giselle unit in the tower.
So as soon as
Yeah,
you killed enough to panic, they
Yeah.
all ran off.
he must have took 10 panic tests.
Oh man.
And he said after the game, he says, "I don't know why I didn't take them out." He says, "Didn't even think of it." I says, "Well, neither did I really, but glad you didn't."
And you were thinking, as soon as the General and BSB run off the board, you win the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. So
Oh well. So there's that, another
Yeah.
win. So going on to the last round 5, because it's only round
Yeah, it's
5
only
rounds
5
now,
rounds,
Flemish
yeah.
schools.
it was me versus Ches.
Yeah, so the Bobo was on the Twitter,
On the
all
Twitter.
weekend and saying Ches was legendary and he was just smashing people.
Yeah.
And then he came across you.
Well, yeah, we were on table 1 because it was Andrew versus Ben.
Really?
Really, I think there was.
Alphabetical on the
I think there
draw.
was maybe 6 guys on 4 wins,
Nice.
5 or 6 guys, something like that.
And it was alphabetical.
It was out. Yeah, basically what had happened is their spreadsheet had just died. The random generating, because obviously you are random within your band. So they did it on they did a sort on alphabetical because it's kind of random, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't know who's turning up.
No.
So that was how they did it. So it was me and Ches, and Ches had sort of thought to him, well, said to me, he says, "Can't win. There's too many Skaven players at the top. So fuck it, I'm gonna smash you." So he just ran forward with it all.
Tried to kill you.
Yeah.
And you ran forward with better combat troops.
No, not really with better combat troops until you use Power Scroll, and then they're awesome.
Oh man, is it really that easy?
Yeah,
Power score to the win.
yeah.
Oh man, you're not doing a very good marketing campaign for the old Orcs here.
The Orcs were great. They were great fun, exactly as they've always been. But the Power Scroll just boosts them to another level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's the war spell, which you could
Yeah.
get off without the power score, but
It's not happening
why?
because it's that good.
Do you not think you can still get it off?
You chuck your dice at it, but if you double 6 it, it's gone. But otherwise, people are going to throw everything they've got at stopping it. And what they will do is I imagine that they'll let other stuff go.
Yeah.
Because it's devastating. Even once you're in combat, just keep casting the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I say, Black Orcs. I mean, I didn't have them. I had them 5 wide. Probably should have been 6 or 7 wide.
You only had them 5 wide.
Yeah.
Oh man, you were really lazy with it, weren't you?
Yeah.
And it didn't matter.
No.
You just chucked them in and
Yeah.
smashed stuff. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
16 attacks. First round of combat. It's weapon skill 4. So a lot of stuff is 3s. Everything else is 4s. And the strength 5.
Yep.
There's still toughness 4 on the way back. They've still got 5 up save on the way back.
Yep.
I think as well, you could probably do away with the War banner and get the Bumsex banner on there. And then, well,
The banner of buggery.
yeah.
Okay.
It's 21 attacks.
Yeah, I don't think you probably could be good. Great weapons as well if you wanted with that one, because you wouldn't need to go extra choppers.
Extra strength 5.
Yeah, some stuff strength 6, tin opener.
It was
Circumstances, isn't it?
circumstances. But yeah, they were great over the weekend. Squig Hoppers, dead impressed by them. Spear Chuckers,
Not so much.
basically you get to roll 2 dice every turn.
It keeps you interested.
And every so often you get to roll a 3rd dice with them. Do you know what I mean?
That's a brilliant way of looking at it. Yeah, I love
that's
it.
basically it. Rock Lobber, gold.
Yeah.
Doom Diver. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's just so good all the time.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to
Yeah.
put it there. I've not misfired. It
Yeah.
means I can choose what I eat.
Yeah. Oh, man. Glorious. Absolutely glorious. And the magic defense as well. See, first magic phase, Ches rolled 10 or something like that. Is that right? 10. Okay. So I get 6. I steal one of yours for 7. Okay. Channel.
He's down to 9.
Yeah. Channel. Oh, I've got another one. That's 8. Oh, and I've got the 3 extra from the banner. And Ches just looks at me and goes, see why you're doing well?
He's rolled 10. Now he gets 9 and
Yeah.
you've got 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit good.
It's
and you've
very,
got the
very
spell
good.
scroll.
And I've got a scroll, yeah. And a level 4 to dispel with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Okay, so after I take it you beat Ches.
Yeah. Beat Ches by, he had a unit of gut runners left.
Oh, right. Oh.
Yeah.
See, them gut runners never die.
No, that's right. But then they didn't actually come up till turn 4, so I didn't have that long to kill them. So in the end, it was won by Pete Foley with Skaven.
Okay, now how did it work?
I'm not really sure. Okay, so the result sheet they have given out has got, in first place, Gareth Stoneman with High Elves on 18 points total. So that's 5 lots of 3 from the games, and then 3 favourite army scores. The favourite army scores was you picked a player that you played, and you vote for them at the end. Now, this could be, he was a nice guy.
Just best opponent, isn't
But
it?
it's best anything, really.
Best haircut.
Best haircut, best army list, nicest bloke. You know, you fancied him. Anything. If you got 1, you got 1 point. I think if you got 2, you got 3 points. And if you got 3, you got 5 points. Which actually makes a massive difference.
Yeah, of course it does.
In a tournament where you can only score a maximum of 15 points from gaming, you can score 5 extra points from this. Which, fine, but...
Did anyone get 5 points?
Yeah, quite a few.
Good stuff.
Ches got 5, which is why it shot him up to 4th on the list. So anyone that's tied, it's the split after that is favourite army score. So if you got, for example, 12 points, it's all the guys with 3 best army scores are lined up first, and then they're split again by ticket number.
Yep.
If this is making sense.
Let's let me have a look at the sheet. So yeah, like example is you got a load of people on 12. Oh man, there's loads of people on 12.
There's a lot on 12, yeah.
And all the ones at the top are the 3-point ones.
Yeah.
And then them section all on ticket number. And then you've got like a guy here who's won 4 but had no best army votes, so he's on 12 as well.
Yeah, but he's right down the bottom.
He's below someone who's only won 3 and got 3 draws.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a strange way of putting it out.
Yeah, because they didn't record victory points at any point.
No,
There's nowhere on your results form to give victory points. It's literally just the ticket number of the guy you played, because your ticket number is already printed on the thing, which is a nice touch, to be honest with you. And then did you win, did you lose, did you draw?
Yeah.
That's it. And then it's the winner of the actual tournament who gets the nice shiny trophy is the person who beat the average score of their race by the most.
Okay.
So, for example, the Orcs and Goblins, there was 4 of us. I was the highest Orc and Goblin player with 5 wins and 1 best haircut for 16. So they take my 16 out, and then the average was 8.6 of the rest.
Yep.
So I beat the score by 7.3.
Yep.
Basically. And then, so they do that for all the armies, and then whoever's got the highest score wins.
Okay.
Which was Skaven on 10.9 points above the average without the Skaven army in.
Wow, that's quite a big jump.
It's quite a big jump. After that was High Elves on 10 something. Ogres.
So the Skaven's average score was only What did Pete finish on? 18.
Yeah,
So Skaven's average score was only 8.
yeah.
Wow.
But then you look at the bottom, and there's a dude at the bottom on 2 points.
With Skaven.
Then there's another guy with 4. You know what I mean? It's the small points that soon add up, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
I mean, there's what, probably 6 or 7 on the second page on less than 8.
Yeah.
So it soon rattles it down. I think dwarfs were 4th on 9 something, then vampires, then orcs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a funny way of doing it, but it's a way of doing it.
So what was the general atmosphere at the event?
Well, certainly a lot of people weren't aware that they weren't getting a breakdown of where they finished,
No.
because originally they weren't going to do that at all. It was just going to be 1 first place, 14 second places, and the rest was third. Which people were like, well, how do I know if I finished either my mate or my brother or?
Yeah.
Well, you don't. So, but yeah, so that's how they've done it. Someone's made a very good quote on TWF of it never really felt like a tournament.
Yeah.
And it's right. I mean, like me and Ches were saying, we're going to the last game of a tournament of a tournament that's got a lot of history as well.
Yeah.
It's somewhere like Warren World, and we're on table 1, and it's like
Doesn't really matter.
no,
Or you don't know if you
you
have no idea.
You have
of how
absolutely
you
no
performed.
clue. Absolutely no clue.
The thing that does it for me is you can, like you did, you smash 5 people, and how you have performed had no impact on your position.
No.
Other than unless you sweet talk some opponents to get some best army votes, then you might increase your chances.
Yeah, that'll increase your chances. But even then, the best army vote was so subjective to what people wanted to give it for. I mean, everyone kept saying to me, says, "Oh, you must have won it. You must have won it. Shooing. There's only 3 other guys." But
Yeah, but if one of them's doing really well,
it doesn't even have to do really well.
well, he has to get like 10 points.
It has, do you know what I mean? Because there's only 3 of you, one good round changes it all immensely.
Yeah, of course it
Do you know what I mean? And then a bad round doesn't change it that much.
Yep.
It's odd. I think that we were talking about this in the last round. If 2 of those Orc players win, the average shoots up.
Yeah.
Huge. But if they lose, it still stays at not far off what it was.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, and like I say, it just feels weird. Because you just don't know how you're getting on.
No, of course
You know
not.
what I mean?
It is very, very strange. So, but did you enjoy yourself?
Yes,
Just because you had a weekend with your mates?
because I had a
drinking,
weekend with my
playing
mates.
Warhammer?
Yeah,
Okay. But
Yeah.
you could have done that elsewhere cheaper and enjoyed it more, you think?
yeah. I mean, I don't know about cheaper, because
Oh, yeah,
obviously
'cause it's local.
we are local, so there's no hotels and stuff like that. I've been to one; it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not convinced I'll go to another.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the Throne Schools
Hmm.
coverage. We're going to have another short break, and then we'll come back and I'll talk about the War Out West. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Oggy. Oggy loved nothing more than to go to a Warhammer tournament on a Saturday afternoon. He'd got his lovely army all ready to go, all purchased from the Og Games web store. And he'd even lined up his first 8th edition Warhammer event. The day of the tournament came, and it was horrible. He got smashed in every single game. It was all too much. Oggy was ready to give in. He'd had enough. He didn't want to play this silly game anymore. It was going to be an epic rage quit. And then the voices started.
Oggy, Oggy, embrace the filth. Oggy, embrace the filth.
It was like a switch had been flipped. Oggy was a new gamer. He headed straight to the Og Games web store, oggames.co.uk, and he created his armies of mass destruction, and the best thing was, they were all at 15% off. So head on over to oggames.co.uk, where you can get anything you need from the Games Workshop universe at 15% off. They also have a huge range of products that can satisfy all your wargaming needs. That's oggames.co.uk. Okay, so we're back again. Going to talk about my trip down to Wiltshire, over to Triple Helix Games, which is a new gaming centre that's popped up. Quite a nice one as well.
Yeah.
They are in like a new industrial unit, which is
Okay.
like just all these industrial estates that popping up everywhere. Brand new unit.
Yeah.
I think might have been open a couple of years, and then they've moved in. But you can still tell it's all shiny new and clean, and that's the main thing. Area as well, really tall ceilings. They've got a big roller shutter door into the gaming area as well, because it used to be a garage. So that's quite nice. Once it starts getting a bit stuffy, they can open the door and let the air through. Got a little kitchen there. Could have done with another toilet, I think. They only had the one. But other than that, spot on place.
Yeah, they done out to it? Have they sort of warhammered it up at all? Or?
Well, they've got the shop, which is fully kitted. It looks like any other shop, a bit like a Games Workshop or a Maelstrom or whatever. The gaming area, they've got all the big Games Workshop banners on the walls.
Okay.
They've got like some camo mesh all over the ceiling and that, where it's like Firestorm had.
Yeah.
And they've got that all up one of the walls. What else have they done to it? Not a lot really on the Warhammer side, but obviously it's full of tables and terrain and painting area, and there's like a relaxation area with a couple of sofas and things like that. And Ian, who run the tournament, it was 20 quid for a ticket. We spoke about this a few weeks ago. 20 quid for a ticket. You got fish and chips on the Saturday, Subway on the Sunday. And there was like 4 or 5 buckets full of beer, and it was free drinks all weekend. So I got wasted on the Saturday. I stopped at Russ Veal's house, so went down to Russ's. Thanks to Russ for pointing us up. Me and Dan were over there.
So hang on. If they had fish and chips for dinner and Subway for dinner, and then they bought a load of booze in, could have made no money then, surely?
Who, the tournament?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think he just put it all back.
Just put it on.
I think he said he made a bit for just to go put into the club.
Yeah.
Just for running other events and stuff. But no, he just didn't make no money on it.
Oh.
But, I mean, we've done it at Derby enough. We know how much spare cash you've got when you charge 20 quid for a ticket and you fed everyone for a couple of days. It's, you know what I mean? You can spend a lot on prizes and things if you like. But there was a lot of beer. I do have to stress, a hell of a lot of beer. I had a lot to drink. I had one at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was a bit rude, I thought.
I did see that on Twitter and felt very jealous because the bar wasn't opening at Warrenwood for another hour.
It was a nice free drink, and it was a decent German ale as well, so we'll get them down me. So like I said, I stopped at Russ's, and me and Dan I says, well, I'll drive Sunday if you drive Saturday, and Dan was like, yeah, that's fine, so I was straight on the ale, it was all good, and I managed to get gaming on the Friday night against Dan as well. This is Dan from the Heel and Hammer podcast.
Was this at Russ's place?
Yeah. So I'll just go through my list. So I started out with Dreadlord. I was expecting good things from a Dreadlord.
Yeah, this is the guy you were quoted as, you can't kill him, he'll never run away. Is that the guy?
Yeah. He died a lot, ran away a lot. And cost me a few games by dying and running away when he shouldn't have done. So he had the dragon helm, so he's got an extra pip on his armour, and he's immune to tilt ward against the flaming.
Yeah.
He's got the pendant, so anything that's not flaming, high strength to get through the armour. Pendant sorts that out. He's on a horse, so with standard kit, Sea Dragon Cloak, he's got a 1-up against shooting, 2-up in combat.
So yeah, really shouldn't die, should he?
He's got Soul Render, great weapon, which again, because he's not supposed to die, and people are always going to get to attack him anyway. It's not often he'll be striking first and killing all his opponents because he's only got 4 attacks. May as well give him the great weapon. He go in last, strength 6 armor piercing. And then he had the Crown of Command, which is the stubborn leadership 10. Then I had a level 4 on Shadow with the dagger and the Pearls of Infinite Bleakness to make you immune to Psych. I had the Cauldron of Blood, who was my battle standard. And then my core choices were a unit of 18 Spearmen, just with a Musician, just for the Sorceress to go in with the dagger. 2 units of 48 Warriors with standard Musician. They should have had champions, really. I should have dropped an extra man and had champions in there.
I was going to say, no, why no banner on the 18?
Because it was supposed to be at the back of the board, casting my 36-inch range shadow spells from the safety of my bunker at the back. And there was no Blood and Glory mission.
No Blood and Glory.
No Blood and Glory. No Watchtower, no Blood and Glory.
Why not?
I don't know. It's not my tournament.
Oh, I wonder if there was an explanation.
No, I don't know.
What was the scoring system?
20-0.
That might be why.
Yeah. So we had a unit Harpies. I had my special choices were 2 units of 7 shades of extra hand weapons, which they're just great shades. I think they're better now than they were before because
Yeah, because you can move them back 10 inches and still shoot.
Yeah. The marching and shooting and all that, it makes up for the skirmishing 360 thing. The only difference is you always tend to be hitting at -1 because you're always moving them. Then what else have we got? A unit of 10, 9 Cold Run Knights with a Bannerman Murder and a musician, standard musician, Bannerman Murder, and then a Hydra, and I think that was my lot.
Both rows?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my lot.
Okay.
So it was light on shooting, which I sort of felt a lot during the games. So I'll get into the games then. I played Dan on the Friday night. He was running a slan with a load of toys, a big Temple Guard block for the slan.
Life?
Yeah, slan. A big Temple Guard block for the slan. A big Source Crocs block with 3 Croxigors in it. Sorry, Skink Crocs. 3 Croxigors in it. I think it's 25 Source Warriors, 2 units of Chameleons, 2 units of Blowpipe Skinks, 1 unit of Pterodons, 1 unit of 2 Salamanders, and that was about that. 2 Mounted Scar Veterans, which used quite well actually both games against me because I played him in the tournament as well. Can't really remember much about the Saturday night one other than I know my Dreadlord died very softly to Throne of Vines on Skinks, Shield of Thorns on Skinks, did a wound. Next round, did another wound. Then he charged in with the Temple Guard and chinned me. And I'm like, oh, awesome. 3 rounds of combat and my Dreadlord's dead. And then after that, it was just sort of running riot through me and killing everything. And yeah, it was bad times. He hammered me on the Saturday night.
Oh, dear.
Friday night even. So we rocked up at the tournament bright and early Saturday morning. I've already got a grudge match against Jack Armstrong, who turned up at about 10:30. The round started at 10. So yeah, that was a bit of a fail. On
Grudge
Jack's
fail.
part. But he had a Bloodthirster, 40-ish horrors, 20 demonettes, 20 bloodletters with a Khorne Herald in there, a Slanesh Herald in the demonette block, a Tzeentch Herald Master on life in the horror block. Recurring theme here for the life magic. A unit of Flamers and a single Fiend and a unit of the Flappy Furies.
Flappy things.
We comes to the table and we have to place the terrain and there's a big pyramid. So it's impassable because you're not going to be able to stand any models on it. I ended up choosing table sides and gave Jack the side with the pyramid in. I thought he deployed. I didn't roll Mind Razor on the Shadow, so I thought I can't really fight the Bloodthirster with anything. So I cornered it all, and I had a load more deployments than him. Oh, that was the other thing, me. I mean, 2 units of 5 Witch Elves with Musician and Champion, which we'll talk a lot about. They were very good.
Okay.
Starts putting them down. I have a flank. So Jack puts Fiend down against my first one, Furies down opposite my second one. Then I put Harpies at the back and centre, and he's like, I can see where this is going. So he puts his horrors in the centre, and then he puts his bloodletters to the left of his horrors, and by then I just pile everything in my right-hand corner and wait for him to come to me, which his bloodletters and his horrors have got a trek and a half. Yeah. And I think I'm in here because my Cold Run Knights can go straight into the demonettes, nail them, and then I won't really have to do much else. I can just sort of sit, and I'm up by 300 or 400 points, sit and wait. Well, that didn't really work. I charged my Dreadlord into the Flamers. I don't think Jack saw it because it was like sort of behind a wooded hill, strange bit of terrain. But I could see him. I could see the far corner. But then obviously the shortest path to the nearest one, it was not very far at all, like 14 inches or something. Which on a Dreadlord, movement 9, 3d6, or just a bit highest, it was in. And he was like, oh crap. Took a wound off the dangerous terrain. Then I took a wound from the stand and fire with a 1-up armour and a 1-up. 2-up ward. He fell hook, line, and sinker, and charged in the flank with the demonette. Because I run in and just stick there. He's got his Bloodthirster nearby. Charges in the flank with the demonette, turns his flank to the Cold Run Knights, thinking he's running it through his head. Oh, you can only do 4 wounds. You've only got 4 attacks. I've got the flank charging. I've got 3 ranks. I've got this, that. You're never going to stay. And even if you do, it don't matter. I've got my Bloodthirster there. Blah blah. And I'm thinking he's falling for it. He's falling for it. And he's like charge. I'm like yes, get him in. Anyway, he puts his Furies in front of the Cold Run Knights. So I'm thinking, in my turn, all I've got, charge up the Cold Run Knights. They run into the Furies, pop them, overrun into the flank of the Demonettes, just kill
them. How far away was the overrun?
Oh, it was like inch, 2 inch. You know, it was just blocking the flank.
Right, okay.
It was nothing. Dreadlord broke, didn't he? Leadership 10, gone. I didn't have my BSB in there, but first attempt, gone. First attempt of the tournament with my stubborn, tricked up Dreadlord. He runs off. So then Jack turns to face the demonettes. So I charge my knights in anyway, and because he's reformed, so the demonettes facing the knights. I charge past him with the knights instead of into him. And then when I'm thinking I can just shoot him, charge him with other stuff. He chucks his toughness +4 toughness on him, and I double won the dispel, so I needed like 4 to reach the limit, and no, that didn't help. And it was just bad times from there. Went downhill. He brought a bloodletter block around. I chucked 50 warriors into him, and he killed, I think it was 21 in 2 rounds of combat with 9 bloodletters and a herald, which was quite impressive. And Jack's excuse was, well, they've got hatred. I'm like, yeah, but only in the first round. So yeah, it went bad quick. And then the Bloodthirster just went on a rampage. It was horrendous, killing left, right, and centre.
So the score was
15-5 to Jack in the end. The Dreadlord got away from the charge.
Right.
He charged the Bloodthirster into it and killed it. Great.
There you go. You have to go back to grudging chumps.
Yeah. Well, I'd not played Jack for ages, and I thought, well, only a nice little tin pot. I can have a nice game against Jack. Jack came, taking it all guns blazing, really seriously with a horrendous demon army. It's like, what?
No, you know, your Dark Elf army just screams fluff.
Well, I don't know, 120 spearmen.
That's because you figured out that when you cast Mind Razor, they kill the world.
They do kill the world, and we'll talk about this in Game 2.
Okay.
So, Game 2, the draw goes up, and Ian comes over and says, you've got our club's wooden spoon collector. Matt Garlick, his name was.
Matt Garlick?
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
thinking, well, this is all right, because I could do a nice, easy game after the last one. So I says, no, my luck, because Battle for the Past next, no, my luck at the Empire. And it was. I was like, oh, Christ. But he just had a sort of middle of the road, not too shooty. 1 cannon and a Hellblaster, I think his war machines were. And he says, I'm not the wooden spoon collector. That's not fair. I've only got 1. Two of the tournaments I went to, they weren't giving them out. So I think I got the first turn and moved forward, and he tried to charge his Empire Knights into me. I'm thinking, that's a bloody long way. He needs 2 6s or something. He's got the Steel Standard in there, minus D3 off that. So, oh, Christ. And
Plus
he fails.
D3.
Minus D3 off the distance, plus
Right.
3 to his charge, yeah. He fails, and I'm thinking, Christ, his BSB is probably going to have the reroll charge banner, but he didn't, so I got away with that. So I went back in with my Cauldron Knights, Cauldroned them up, extra attack, charged them in, 12 Empire Knights and 2 characters. Mind Razor, double 6, off it goes, kills all 12 Empire Knights. It was just horrendous. And then that was sort of the tail of the game. In the turn the Knights charged, I charged him as a big spearman block into the tank, my Shades into his Hellblaster, and the Knights into his Knights, all of them needing like 10s, and they all went in. Then the spearmen were just fighting the tank for ages.
Yeah.
In the meantime, my small Witch Elf units are just running around, just getting in the way of stuff, threatening things. They go into the tank, flank of the tank eventually. Mind Razor them up, strength 8 because my general's out of the way. They do 4 wounds to the tank. Still 6s to wound, but you don't get no armor save this time.
Saves, yeah.
Elsewhere, the Shades charge a unit of spearmen and fail charge. So I Mind Razor him because I think I don't like that. So he charges me, and I just kill a million extra attack and Mind Razor on the Shades. And I'll come back to this in a minute because I'll talk about how the shadow magic works with the army. And elsewhere, it literally was just my units running into his and smashing them. I caught him out with a lot of the long charges, I think. I just went for him. It's like, whatever, I'll keep plodding forward even if I fail. And when they go in, it's devastating. Yeah. And I find that seems to be the case a lot.
Yeah.
And people moan, oh, you rolled the 10 for your charge. It's like, but you gave me a game-breaking charge. All I need to do is chuck a 10. And I don't know, it's good.
That's what I've found after I've played, 3-4 tournaments now. You know, if you don't want someone to charge you, you got to stay,
out of the maximum.
Yeah, 13 inches plus the movement away. Otherwise, it happens.
So I got a big win against Matt. He's his saving grace at the end was a 20 spearmen on a hill, and I thought, my big steadfast unit can take the flank charge. I won't need to turn to face. I can turn the other way to be chasing another unit. His spearmen came off the hill with 3 ranks, charging down a hill, a banner, a flank, and charging. +7, +7 when he got in, and then his 10 attacks from his spearman or his swordsman killed 6 warriors. So that's another 6 to his combat res, and took my steadfast away because he'd killed 6 from 10 attacks. I'm like, oh shit. And I broke and then didn't rally him off the board. It's like, yeah, when a big block of troops runs down off nil into the flank of you, it hurts.
Yes.
That was quite funny. It was looking bad at that point. I'd not lost nothing else, so that was quite an amusing end to the game, which made a little difference really.
So what was that? 20?
Yeah, that was 20. So game 3, I'm facing Russ. So Russ had sort of not played much 8th, and he sat writing his army the night before, and he'd even talked about. He was in the back of the car on the way over, and he told us all about his list. And when I get to the table, I'm like, "You told me exactly what was in it this morning, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yep." I'm like, can't remember any of it.
I've had a lot of free beer.
All I can remember that he had double Master of the Black Arts, which was quite tough. I know what's in it now, but at the time I couldn't remember much. So and we're playing the Dawn Attack. So Russ has got the Black Knight unit. He didn't go for the Graveguard. He fancied using the Black Knights instead. I think it's like 9 of them. White King BSB.
Yeah.
A Lord on foot with Master of Black Arts, wristband of gold, and all that sort of thing. 2 big units of ghouls. Was it? No, 3 units of ghouls. A Varghul for coach and 4 wraiths.
Oh.
The scenario, Russ went first. No, sorry, I went first. That was it. And it was like, start my Cauldron of Blood. The reason you start your Cauldron of Blood is because I've seen so many times Dark Elf combat army put all the troops down, and the Cauldron of Blood goes miles away. So if you know where your Cauldron is at the start, you've got some not a lot, but some sort of
More control.
Yeah, some control of where your stuff's going, because you can sort of make a judgment. Certainly with this, if your Cauldron goes to one flank, you've got all the stuff on that flank and all the stuff in the centre to decide where it goes. And if your Cauldron goes in the centre, you're sort of laughing. So I started, and it's like Cauldron goes on. I think Cauldron was on the left, and then my next unit was my Knights, which went on the right. It's like, great. So it's like, no, sorry, I put my it was a block of spearmen on the right, 50 spearmen. So they went on the right. And it's like, okay, that's all right. More spearmen on the left, more spearmen wherever. A few other bits of shit down here and there. Witch Elves, one on either flank, which was rubbish. And then the Knights, everything. It started going that all my stuff was onto the left around the Cauldron, and the Knights went to the right. And I was like, crap. So I deployed them 5 wide, 12 inches in, but facing sideways across my deployment zone, with thinking I can march. I'm getting the first turn, unless he rolls a 6. I'm marching towards my Cauldron for 2 turns. Anyway, Russ starts laughing. He says, my Knights, I'm going to put them down first, straight opposite my Knights. I'm like, you know what? If he gets the first turn, his Knights are coming 14 inches forward, plus 8 with the Van Elves, and I'm just going to have to turn around and take the charge to the face. And so both of us were laughing about that for a while we were sort of debating what was going to happen. And as it came to it, he didn't roll a 6. But luckily, Russ's line was split up as much as mine. His Knights and his Ghouls with his Vampire Lord were on my right flank, opposite my Knights, a big spear block and a small unit of Witch Elves. But the rest of his army sort of went on the left, and because it was the same table I played Jack on, the pyramid was sort of splitting his lines up. So we got going. I marched across. He moved forward. I turned my Knights around to face him. Charged my Witch Elves at his block from like 11 inches away, and he sort of went shit. Killed him, blowed him up, charged him in his Knight block, and he was like, "Crap." I didn't roll it, but it sort of opened his eyes, the fact that I will just start chucking long charges if it's going to make a lot of difference. I think that same turn I charged 50 spears into his black coach, which I'd have thought he needed to kill 2 of me to not be popped on the charge, even if I did no wounds. If I did a wound, he needed to kill 3 of me. And that was an overrun into a Ghoul unit with a Vampire in. I charged the Wraiths with my Hydra from a long way away as well. And I charged the Witch Elves into the Knights, and just the Hydra went into the Wraiths, which was in fact, no, I think the Hydra failed on that, but it was a straight swap for me. I thought, I'm swapping my Hydra for his Wraiths, because my Hydra will pin him. I'll lose him eventually, but my Dreadlord will get in. And it's what happened. He decided to charge my Hydra. My Dreadlord went in next turn, extra attack, 5 attacks, magical. It killed the unit, because he doesn't get outnumbered anymore, and I've got the charge. So that's a massive swing to what it used to be in the old edition. But the Hydra got chopped up pretty quick by the Wraiths. But we'll get back to the Shadow Magic, because I've got the Mind Razor. He was terrified of getting into combat, and because he knows if he gets stuck in a prolonged combat with any of my big units, it doesn't just make a mess, it absolutely obliterates them. And I found that a decent player would just not just refused to fight, and I didn't have enough shooting to force it. His Vargulf dodged a pendulum. The pendulum, the spell that does a cannonball.
Yeah.
Initiative test, dodged that. Peter Shades kept missing the coach. Eventually, he charged his coach into my Dreadlord, which I thought again was a mistake. But he says he didn't want my Dreadlord holding a block in place, so I could bring the warriors in. Whereas his coach, he sort of used the coach to he sacrificed the coach. He lost it in the end to hold the Dreadlord in place to stop me getting any of his other blocks. But I don't know. Wasn't sure on that. Dreadlord killed it in the end. Probably should have killed it sooner, but a 50-man train was tramping its way over towards the coach and kept trying to charge and not making it, and then only going forward a couple of inches and then trying again next turn, not making it. Got there eventually and popped him. Meanwhile, Witch Elf unit is holding off a whole flank of Black Knights just by running forward, kill and blow, and saying, you can't charge me because I'll kill and blow you. If I charge you, you're going to get kill and blow to death. In the end, he had to take it, and I ran in and didn't get the kill and blow. But yeah, it's a big swing that was, because it's like a 250-point White King. Didn't manage to get the kill and blow through. I think it's a lot of my own fault. I was lazy, being the fact that I made some 3x2 movement trays. So I was running my Witch Elves on that. Should have made them 5x1, and then they'd have stayed in that formation all weekend. As it was, I was sort of deploying them 3x2, and then once they start running forward, I don't want to lose the turn of marching to reform.
Yeah.
It's just not playing with the list and just things you'd pick up once you play a bit more. On the other flank, I had a chance to charge my Shades into his Vargulf for double one for the distance. Russ goes, "Oh, you'll be fine. You just don't roll double one." Cheers, Russ. Double one.
Thanks,
don't get
mate.
in. The Shades have to keep running away through each other. He got the Shades in the end. I got the Wraiths, the Black Coach. He got both units of Shades, some other bits and bobs. Harpies, I think. And it came down to a draw. I think the only difference that swung it was the fact that he'd raised a zombie unit into the side of my Knights to pin me for a turn, so I couldn't go charging in. And that was the 50 points that kept it a draw instead of us winning.
Right, yeah, for the zombies.
Yeah, so it was a good game. It was a really good game, actually. But both of us were saying the scenario. See, the scenario did ruin it because, like, they were just scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
And then when they did come on, once we did sort of manoeuvre to get into positions, it was sort of half the game was gone. And I don't know. So it still made for a good game, but we was both a bit disappointed by we didn't just get to go at each other with our own battle plans. Don't know if I like that one.
I know what you mean. I think there's a lot of people who, I think you need to play the odds. You need to, when you, like you said with the Cauldron, think about if you've got something reliant around your army. I mean, I do it with the War Machines. If I roll the centre for one, it'll go to either the left or to the right, sort of 3 inches from the line. Because then when the Engineer comes on, if he goes in that side, he's
two chances. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think if you just willy-nilly roll it and chuck it down without any thought, you get caught out a lot more.
Yeah. But to some extent, there's still things that you get yourself in a situation where you can't do anything about it. And it doesn't make for a good game that someone wins just because of that. But anyway, so that night we went home and watched The X Factor, and it was brilliant. Wagner and his bongos for the win.
Come on.
I'm telling you.
Game 4.
Oh, no, more on The X Factor.
No.
We were loving it, man.
It's a Warhammer podcast, not an X Factor podcast.
Russ was sitting there being miserable like you. Don't like The X Factor. I'm not watching The X Factor. Halfway through, he's like, this is rubbish. He just can't sing. It's so crap. It's just that. It's just rubbish. And we're like, he's getting into it.
Russ, dude, it's your house. What are you messing about at?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we were loving The X Factor. And so Sunday morning, we'd already been given the draw, and I was playing Dan. And my original plan was just keep him up all night, because I thought I could do without sleep better than he could. But I got tired and went to bed.
I was going to say, you got tired and went to bed. I bet you he was up at 6 a.m. running.
No, I think I was up first, actually, both days.
Because you went to bed early.
No, not really. It was late. Anyway, so rocks up, playing Dan. I'm thinking, this isn't good. He's already given me a kicking once this weekend. And I thought, I won't lose my Dreadlord this time. I'll be careful with him. So my Dreadlord behaved against Russ. He's a good boy. Mm-hmm. He probably probably kept me in the game enough to make up for the Knights being idiots. He got all my points, got the race and the Black Coach. So it was all good. So against Dan, we're playing the one where you roll a 1 and your army doesn't turn up or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dan goes first. He's pretty pissed off because I won the roll well, he won the roll, so had to set up his army first.
Yeah.
Even though he got the first turn, he would prefer to be able to pick his fights and choose which units to fight off against which. Rolls for everything. 1 unit of skirmish and skinks don't show up. Right, crap. So he puts his stuff down, deploys it quite deep, far back, so he can sort of wait to see what I'm doing. And then 1 Scar veteran on the extreme right, Pterodon's extreme left, because he knows he's going first. I can't put the shades near the Pterodons.
Yeah.
And the other Scar vet's covering the whole corner, basically. He wasn't, as it turned out, but he thought he was. I roll for my army. The Wizard Bunko, 18 spearmen don't turn up. Unit of 50 spearmen also don't turn up. So it's like, great. So Dan goes, I'm going for a crap, see you in a minute. Comes back. I says to him, I'm going to stick it up the back now because I can't fight you. I've got a unit down. And I thought, whatever. I've already lost 1 and drawn 1. I'll just stick it on the line and just run at him. So that's what I thought. I thought I'd use the long table edge, the narrow side of it, to bring me big 50 spears on.
Yeah.
Because then they're a bit close to the fight. And I got stuck into him. He dwelled off my cauldron, which seemed to be the flavour of the weekend. Everyone seemed to be doing that. Then I blew my wizard up and turn 2. Turn 3 the wizard went. His Scar veteran was chasing my shades around, and then I brought my spearman block on, the small one. And I was thinking, well, I'll move the shades right into the corner. Scar veteran's facing him. I could bring my spears on in front of him, and we're measuring it. And I was like, I'm not going to stop you, am I? And Dan's like, no, I don't think you are. Looking at it, I was like, right, I need my rule book. And Dan's like, right, I'm going to pull up a chair. I'm going to see what you come up with here. I'm quite interested in this. So it's like, right, a bit of reading of the rules for the moving on the table and that sort of thing, and how far you can move. And it's like, okay, so if I come in a line of 2,
Oh, God.
and then I can reform into a single line. So that makes me, I come on far enough so that my centre's in front of the shades, and then I reform into a single line. I cover all the shade units, so you can't charge the shades, and if you charge them with spears, they're stubborn. And that's what I did. So I came on, and
1 rank of 18
Yeah.
equals your no rank.
yeah, and he didn't charge, so I reformed into a block, still stood right in front of him, because he thought I was going to charge. I was like, I'm not charging you. He gives you an extra round of chopping me up. So he charged me the round after, so then it was my turn 3 when I blew my wizard up, casting Mind Razor on him.
Right.
But I did kill him, so I swapped a 300-point wizard to get a 130-point Scar veteran.
You're right.
Which was kind of awesome. Anyway, meanwhile, in the centre, when the cauldron went down, I was like, right, I can have a turn around and start walking backwards while he marches at me, stay where I am while he marches at me, or I could just go all guns blazing. So I charged my... Dan was moving his units, and he's like, you're never going to charge the knights into the skink block. You're just never going to do it. It was stupid. And I'm like thinking, I'm going in there. I'm definitely going in there. And he did. He moved me man, and I went in, and he sort of like, okay, why? So I charged him in, and my plan was I'd run in, I'd kill a load, I'd kill a skink priest, I'd get points guaranteed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my 50 spears on the left are coming round to go in the flank. And my mounted dreadlord can run in front of the temple guard to stop the counter charge. And my knights will go in, kill enough to hold. Next round, I'd lose a load from the Croxigors, but next round, again, kill enough to hold, and I'd lose the Knights probably the round after that, and I'd be in the flank with the Spearman unit. And then once the magic starts going in as well, I should be able to break them pretty quickly, or kill them all pretty quickly. It didn't happen like that. The Knights ran in, didn't kill Skink Priest, didn't hardly kill any Skinks because he saved 2 of them on his parries. And then he got 7 hits and 6 wounds from the Croxigors going back. I'm like, oh man, I just don't.
7 from 9?
7 hits from 9,
Nice.
6 wounds.
Good work, Dan.
I think I saved 3. So he killed 3, and it was like, that was bad. And then next round he chopped them up. The Spearman got in the flank eventually. He didn't charge the Temple Guard into my Dreadlord, so I charged the Skink Crocs in the side, so I'm in both flanks of them.
Right.
And then he went in the back of the Temple Guard. The Temple Guard went in the back of the Dreadlord once he was engaged, so it was a big combat. Meanwhile, the Hydra's charged his 25 Source Warriors, starts munching through them, and it's like, first round he did 3 wounds to me. It's like, oh crap, I'm in trouble here. And then he did 2 wounds to me the first one, second round he did 1, third round he did 1, I had 1 wound left, and he's got like 15 warriors. It's like, it doesn't wound me. Now he's got 10 warriors. Doesn't wound me again. Now he's got no warriors. And I managed to munch him just in time to stay alive. And I thought I was getting hammered. Once the knights went in and didn't kill the priest, because it's like 100 points. So it might not be that much, but it's points for the priest.
Yeah.
Didn't kill the priest. Lost all the knights really cheaply instead of decimating half the unit like I thought I would. I thought I'm down by a lot here. The Cauldron's gone, the Wizard Lord's gone, the knights have gone. That's 1,000 points. But he didn't kill anything else. And I started killing things. I got a chameleon unit. I got... he put a skink unit in a wood really early in the game, and he's like, it's fine, he's got no shooting near. Shades are both on the other flank, got no shooting nearby. So it's fine. I'm like, okay, leave him to it. Then cast some magic, cast a bit. I was like, right, miasma on them skinks. I'm thinking, which one can I cast, which is most likely to let off, because it was a Bloodwood, right?
Yeah.
So which I thought he's going to forget.
Yeah.
Which one's most likely for him to let go, but won't arouse so much suspicion that I'm lowering your weapon skill. You know what I mean? And I was like, movement or ballistic skill. I says, I think I can't remember which one I decided in the end, but I thought I've got to play it poker face. I've got to just do one that he's going to let go, and he'll be like, whatever, you can cast it. And I did, and it's like, whatever, yeah, you can cast it. I was like, sure? Yeah, saying, chucks the card down, picks the dice up, D6 strength 4 from the Bloodwood, and he's like, oh, fuck it.
You already won, didn't you?
No, killed 3, panicked him off the table. It was awesome. It was the highlight of the game for me.
It sounds like the highlight of the weekend so
anyway,
far.
it was a good game in the end. It was a proper grind at the end. Got a load of points back. And
How
then
did
the damn Dreadlord broke? First break test he had to take. Last dice roll of the game was the only break test he had to take. Well, the 11 gone. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then we added it up, and Dan had won 14-6. Before that, it was 11-9 to Dan,
Right.
which thought 11-9 was great, getting it back to that after 1,000 points down on turn 3. And at that time, Dan had lost nothing. So,
how did everyone find the Mysterious Woods?
I don't know. I didn't really speak to people much about it.
Okay.
I didn't find them a problem at all. You just got on with it.
Yeah.
Particularly with me, I was just chucking my big units in there. I
Yeah.
wouldn't put the shades in unless I knew it was safe. The big units can go in first. They can take hits, no problem. When I was playing, we'll get to that, my game 5. So, yeah, Dan gave me a kick in. Good game, really good game against Dan, and it's good, always is. So, yeah, I like that. Last game, I was playing, the guy's name's Kaz, he's one of the Black Sun lot. And he had a Bloodthirster again. I'm thinking, oh, Christ, just please roll Mind Razor. As long as I roll Mind Razor, it'll be fine. And I did. I got it. I was like, a big sigh of relief. But it was just a battle line one, this was. And he'd got the Bloodthirster. He'd got 2 Zinch Heralds in a big horror block this time. A Khorne Herald BSB in a Bloodletter block. A unit of Flamers. He was going on about how good the Flamers are. He's like, oh, they're just brilliant. And I'm just like, whatever. They're good. They're not that good. I think he'd just been pointing them at things and deleting units.
Yeah.
I was like, they can't be that good because you're doing shit the same as I am. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's because I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. As long as you said that and I didn't. Apparently, they went out on Saturday night, got wasted. He was rapping. He was doing his rapping because apparently he's got videos on YouTube of him rapping or something. He was doing rapping. And then they stripped him naked. And he was just sat in the middle of the room with everything on show rapping. So the crazy bunch of Black Sun lot with their esteemed leader, Ben Diesel there.
Oh, Ben Diesel.
So, yeah, me and Kaz, we set up and I sort of put all my chaff down and then go for an extreme flank. Because you can't take all the horrors, the bloodletters, everything coming at the same time. Hydra and Shades on the right flank just to sort of see if he'd go after him with his bloodletters, which he sort of did and didn't. And then he trotted within sort of 16 inches of the Hydra. So I run over and breathe fire into the unit. 2 inches of Shades on him. It just decimated him. And then the daftness started. He put his Bloodthirster, right? Put his Bloodthirster 4-inch charge. So it's 9 inches away from a Spearman. No, sorry. I rolled the 4, so I didn't get in. So it was like 10, maybe 11 away from the Spearman. It was really low. And I'm thinking, should I put the Dreadlord in and the Spears? I thought, no, because the Spears will fail. I know they will. And the Dreadlord will be there fighting on his own. It'll die, and then I'm in a lot of trouble. So Spears going on their own. Dreadlord goes into a Fleshhound unit. The big second Spear block runs forward to fight his Fiends, or to block his Fiend's charge. He charged his Fiends straight into the front of him. My Spears didn't reach the Bloodthirster. And because I was deployed in a forest thinking I could just move out, I didn't think for a second he'd put his Bloodthirster right in front of him. It sort of trapped me in the woods. I'm like, crap, I'm in the woods, I'm not steadfast, I need to sort of save him. Harpy's in front. And then he charged his Bloodthirster into the Harpies to overrun in. I'm like, right, keep casting magic on my unit, try and get some magic off, just so the Bloodwood moves. So it runs off me, and he just kept stopping all my magic. I'm like, okay, this is going to be bad. Witch elves, they'll save me. Ward up the witch elves. They charge the flank of the bloodthirster while he's fight because he's overrun into the spears. Dreadlord's chopping at the flesh hounds, just doing nothing. We're killing a few, but they're just not popping. They're not popping. Gets him down to one model. It took me 2 rounds of combat to kill the last flesh hound, and both times it's like I can turn and I can charge the thirster and just soak up the combat res and he'll pop. Witch elves, in the meantime, gone to the flank of the thirster, challenge 5-up ward, and he just hits the witch elf. He's got 7 attacks with strength 6, whatever. Take 4 wounds, and he loses combat. I think he took 2 wounds on the pop as well, which is quite good. And then, in the meantime, these fiends have charged from a big warrior unit, chop them up. It took ages to kill them as well. It's like, oh, they just won't die. The bloodthirsters, every round the bloodthirster's getting closer, because first he kills the champion, then he kills a load of warriors. I'm on a shaky 7 with a reroll break test, and I hold both of them. It's like, Christ. Then he kills all the witch elves, but leaves the warriors there on his own. And then my warriors get in the back, and it's like, fine. Mind Razor, kill the bloodthirster. And he's like, oh, thank God that's off. Now, but he's got everything else still alive, so it's like, okay, next turn the knight should be able to charge. I've had to move back for 2 turns out of the magic. I didn't want to chuck the knights forward in case you just turned the bloodthirster around and went straight after them. So knights had trotted back, and then it's like, right, chuck them in. Failed the stupidity test, out of range of the cauldron. It's like, crap. Next turn, move the cauldron over. Next go, stupidity test. 9, fail. 9, reroll, fail.
9?
Leadership 9. Knights, leadership 9.
So 9 passes?
No, fails on a 9.
Oh,
Need a
right,
9,
sorry. Go
fail.
on.
Need another 9, fail. Oh, I'll go wild. Handful of dice in the bin, because there's a bin next to me. Ben Dees was there like, some free dice in the bin. He's like,
Oh, there's a hot dog too.
yeah. So the bloodletters, I've had to stick some witch elves in front of him. He charges the flank of the witch elves, and the 2 witch elves in the end kill 5 bloodletters.
What?
I've got 7 attacks, 2 witch elves, right? So 3 from the normal one, 4 from the champion. 5 bloodletters die, and then he just butchers them. And then the knights pass the test. Bang! Kills the bloodletters. Because I should have been charging flamers, popping them, overrunning into the... Well, I assume popping with that many attacks. I'd have thought so. Overrunning into the back of the bloodletters, because he'd turned to face my Hydra. I'm not going in there. Failed the stupidity test. My Hydra charges past the bloodletters into the big horror block to kill the herald, which had already taken a wound, I think.
Got you.
Doesn't do it. The handlers go, right? Oh, no, sorry. I did a wound with the handlers. That was it. That was why he took a wound. So the handlers go, did 4 wounds. He saves 3 of them. And then it's like, right, I just need to finish him off. He's got 1 wound left. Finish him off with Hydra. Oh, hang on. He gets to attack first and kills the Hydra. Took the last wound off the Hydra with he's just like 4 horrors attacking. Because I couldn't get in because of the other units. There's only 4 in combat. Kills the Hydra. I'm like, oh, Christ. This is just... I mean, the Bloodthirster's still alive, killing everything. And then it was just the one turn. The Bloodthirster went down. The Knights passed the test, go into the back of the guys, kill them. The Dreadlord's free, so he runs into the horrors and pins them. Then the Knights come in the side of the horrors and just flatten them, and they go. And it was 20-0 in the end. But I thought I'm going to lose 20. Turn 3 when it was all looking really ropey.
Sounds like you made hard work of it.
Oh, man. It was really good, though, because it was exciting because it could have gone either way. But the turn when the Mind Razor went off, the Bloodthirster goes down, the Knight kills the Dreadlord kills the final Flesh Hound, and the Knights start going, and yeah, it was all good. I had a good, fun game. Really nice guy to play, and hopefully I'll get to play him again. But he was saying, oh, it's because I'm a chump. I don't really know what I'm doing. I was like, well, you lot play a lot. You want to watch out for, certainly. He had a good list. He knew the rules. Yeah. He got a nasty combo off on me. Enfeebling Foe on my Spearman. I'm thinking, well, if I stop that with my dice, I can't stop anything else. And he'll get Dwellers off on whatever he wants. So I let that go. And then he's like Dwellers on the toughness, on the strength 1 Spearman. I'm like... He's going to roll 2 6s, isn't he? And he does, 2 6s. There was 50, and then there was something like 10. It was horrendous. He was like, oh, it's a bit of a noob combo. I know, it's never worked before. I'm like, man.
Oh, dear, you've been took to school.
Yeah, but it was a great game. Absolutely great game.
Good.
And that rounded off the tournament. Chris Legg cruised it.
Yeah.
It was Skaven, just smashed everyone.
Didn't bottle it either, which is quite nice.
He was playing Jack in the last game, and we was all going, Chris is going to bottle it. Jack made 2 5-up ward saves on the Bloodthirster early on from the cannons as well. And we're like, Leggy's going to lose it. Leggy's going to lose it. Well, he didn't. He won it. So congrats to Leggy.
Yeah, well done, Chris.
Russ Veal, second place.
Vampires, though, they're crap, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Everyone says vampires are crap,
Yeah.
of course. They're just winning tournaments for fun at the moment. Matt Garlick was best sports. I gave him my vote as well, so
Okay.
he had one off me. And best painted was Chris from the Black Sun. Chris Tomlin,
yes.
with his lovely dark elves,
Yeah.
which I spent a lot of the weekend looking at. Really nice.
No, very nice.
They're not the best painted army out there. There's a lot out there at the moment which are better painted, and he'll admit that himself, I'm sure. But the effect as an army, the choice of his colours, and don't get me wrong, it is still well painted.
Yes.
It's just the whole effect. It looks really, really
Yeah,
good.
it's really
And-
good colours. It catches your eye, and he's got lots of little funky things.
And
that,
Ian was saying it wasn't just best painted; it was best army as well. So his choice of units, like he's got sort of one of each.
Yeah.
He's got knights, corsairs, spears, shades, crossbows. You know what? It's standard dark elf fare, but with just a few extra bits thrown in. Really, really nice army. I'll try and get some photos on the forums of it actually, because there's probably some up there already. Because he is a moderator on the Bad Dice forums. So yeah, that was War Out West. Thanks a lot to Ian for running it, and to the Triple Helix Games.
Who was
lot.
third?
There wasn't a third place, but it was Jack Armstrong.
Right, okay.
There was the winner, there was a runner-up, and there was best army.
Right,
Best
okay.
sports. So yeah, thanks to everyone for looking after us while I was down there, and great event. I'd definitely go back, even though it was a hell of a long way for me. But yeah, definitely go
How
back.
far was it?
It's 2.5 hours to Russ's, then about 50 minutes from Russ's to probably about an hour from Russ's to the venue.
See, we're spoiled.
Yeah.
We so are, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, I'll go again. I don't mind it. Like, I drove down to Russ's on Friday night, got the music on, and just got on with it. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Cheers to Russ for putting us up as well. And Dan Elan did some recording, so you'll be able to check out, if you go to the Heel and Hammer podcast, go to his bonus content section, the saucy section, you'll be able to hear the bonus recording he did from there.
Excellent.
Okay, we'll have another short break. We'll come back to wrap up the show. Hi guys, I just want to take a minute to tell you about an amazing new product from Battle Foam. It's the brand new Battle Foam Warhammer Fantasy trays. Battle Foam have recently released 40 of these trays, pre-cut to suit any of your fantasy army needs. If you have a huge monster, an amazing character, or a wild conversion, you can also design your own tray using the Battle Foam Custom Tray Creator. You can get a unique custom tray to suit your unique custom army. Battle Foam also make a revolutionary range of bags called the Pack System. These bags are designed to carry your army in total safety no matter how big or small. There'll be a bag designed for exactly what you want. No matter what it is you need transporting, you can find the foam and bag to do it at battlefoam.com. Right, so that's another show in the bag. Before we clear off, we've got some loose ends to tie up.
Yeah, a few competition winners, haven't we?
Yeah, so the first one is we've got competition from when we interviewed the Black Library guys, and
Yes.
we've got some books to give away. So what have we got to give away?
We've got a copy of Warrior Priest, Grimblades, and Firedrake.
Yeah, so we put basically to enter it, all you have to do is post on the
Post
Snake
on the
Eyes
competition
forums.
forum, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this sort of competition and most others like it, you need to be a Snake Eyes member.
Yep.
You can sign up at baddice.co.uk/Snake Eyes. Costs you a tenner for the year. There's all sorts of stuff on there. There's you can get on the forums anyway. It's just baddice.co.uk/forum. This is like the bonus content section where all the cool kids hang out. Just some. I've got my Dark Elf blog on there. You've got your Skaven painting blog on
That's
there.
right.
A couple of other guys who've got bits on there as well. All the competitions go in there, so you can check all that lot out. And it just goes to supporting the show as well. It's like we've got some tournaments next year, which we probably wouldn't have been able to do, but we're going to be able to do because we've got a bit of extra money in the kitty from
Yep.
the show. Just things like that. With more content for you guys to talk about. Like when we go out and interview some guys and take them out for dinner, that always helps.
Make it look professional and everything.
Yeah, so we've done a random number generator and we've got some winners. So the first one out the hat was it was Kuhn off the forums, his username is. And it's Kim with the Last War, his army from Giant Fanatic, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
A guy we met on the tournament scene when we've been out to Denmark. So he's won his first choice, which was Warrior Priest. So we'll get that out to you. Next up was Greg Dan. serial competition winner for the Bad Dice. Now.
Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't he?
He won. Was it the Horus Heresy? No, it was the Warhammer roleplay box set from Odd Games. God, it must be 6 months, maybe a year ago. So Greg's second place. So his second choice was Fire Drake. And the third one was Kingsley Park. Unfortunately, I don't know this chap. I've just got a username.
No.
So he wins the one that's left, which is Grimblade. So congratulations to you guys. We'll get the books out to you, so I hope you enjoy your books.
Yep, well done, guys.
So have you read the Warrior Priest one?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Got a couple of pages left just to finish.
How many is a couple, Ben?
About 30.
Okay, so not too bad.
Not bad,
yeah.
no.
We've not looked at the Grimblades one. Have we?
No, I've not had
Fire
time.
Drake, I've got 2 copies of, so I'm going to have a read of that now. I've just finished the one I'm on, which is it's Crown of the Blood by Gav Thorpe. I've just finished reading.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll talk about this, and we've got one to give away as well. So,
yes.
We interviewed Gav, and he told us he's got his new book he's working on, and I was quite intrigued to hear about it because obviously he's a Games Workshop author. All this stuff's been Games Workshop universe, and it was like his first venture into the great unknown of generic fantasy, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I didn't know what to expect. He talked it up, and I thought it was worth a read. And to be honest, it took me a while to get into it.
It's a big old book, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not so much the book's fault for me not getting into it. It's more my fault. My reading habits are just strange. What I'll do is, because I've read that and I've been on it like every night this week, I've been reading and I've hammered it really. Mm-hmm. I'll go and read 3 or 4 other books now, but then I'll just have a rest. And I picked that one up. Gav gave me a copy of that while I was on one of my rests, so it went by the bed, and I kept reading the same page every 2 or 3 nights trying to get into it. And then it's like, right, power through, get into it, and then it got me hooked, and I really, really enjoyed it. So the story is basically, it's sort of like ancient Roman Empire type fantasy thing. It's all set in its own world, with its own countries and that sort of thing. But it's like the Roman legions, and they're expanding their empire. And it's like the story of one of the generals who wants to further expand the empire, and he has a bit of a tussle with the king and other generals, and it goes from there. It was great. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, once I got into it, it's some really good characters in there. There's some quite filthy bits in it as well, like graphic sex, proper swearing and stuff, which the first time it came up, it sort of opened my eyes. It's like, wow, wasn't expecting that at all.
It's not all Space Marines and High Elves.
No. It's so it's not a PG for sure. But it did, I don't know, while it shocked me on the first read, it was like, it's not that different from watching an 18 movie seeing it in there. It added to the effect, I think.
Okay.
Some of the war scenes were really interesting. Reading about the legions fighting against another legion, and now the flankers battle against each other, and the tactics they use and stuff like that was quite interesting. Then there's like the Shadow Brotherhood, the temples type thing with a bit of magic involved, and so it's all things for all people. I think if you're into your fantasy books, you'll quite
recommend
enjoy
it.
I really would. Yeah, definitely. I've read some crap in my time, and I've read some really good stuff as well. And it's certainly some of the series I'm reading at the moment. So we've got the Raymond E. Feist stuff, and I've got the George R. Martin stuff, which is the one you was playing, the Throne of what's it called? Can't remember. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. That's the one. Yeah.
It's very in that sort of vein, and it's really I really enjoyed it. So when Gav gave it to me, he says he's been told it's very Moorish. And I'm waiting for the next instalment already, which I imagine is next year sometime. I don't know if he's wrote it yet, or if he's. I do follow him on Twitter.
Yes,
and I tweeted saying, really just finished the book, really enjoyed it. Going to talk about it in tonight's show, and he twittered me back saying, I'll look forward to hearing your thoughts. It's like, well, it's my plan to get more listeners. Read people's books, make them listen to my review. That'll work.
Get one author at a time.
It'll only take me forever. So definitely recommend The Crown of the Blood. I'm looking forward to the next in the series. And we've got one to give away, signed by Gav.
Yes.
So, what do we want to do?
I don't know. Signed by Gav?
Yeah.
Does it not say to Ben or Ben?
No, we've got 2 of them. One's signed Gav, and the other one's signed to us. Definitely. 100% on that. Don't look at me so weird. I remember asking him, and he was kind enough to give us one. I
don't know.
It's just the normal crap of... I'll tell you what we're going to do is we are going to put it on the Twitter. So I don't know how.
In a D6G style.
Yeah, D6G
Should we do it
style.
now?
Seems to the new hotness. No, we're not going to do it now. What I'll do after you've listened to this episode, follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
And
then at some point in a week?
Some point in the next week, we're going to put the competition up on Twitter, and we'll do the winners from the replies. So between now and the next show, we'll have a winner. You need to follow us on Twitter, and it's baddice_podcasts. Word of the warning: don't just search for Bad Dice and follow the first one, because someone else has the Bad Dice account, and it's not us. But yeah, Bad Dice.
That annoys you, doesn't it?
Yeah, they don't use it neither. There's never been any posts on it.
Yeah.
So follow us on the Twitter. The competition details will be up on the Twitter within the next.
I love how it's called the Twitter.
Oh yeah, the Twitter. Up on the next week or so, and you'll be able to find out how you can get your mitts on this book.
Sorted.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I'm done.
Okay, thanks for listening. Another good show in the bag, hopefully. Give us your feedback on the Bad Dice forums, and we'll catch you next time, which will be episode 49, and we're fast approaching 50.
Yeah.
So, okay, cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.
Cheers, guys.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by Ben and Ben Productions.